Welcome back to HeroesCCL presented by Roll20 and your caster Tetcher on this channel presented by Simply Nuck Gaming. They are supporting our stream right now. This broadcast has been hijacked by Tetcher. I need like a flicker glitch effect, but I don't have that here. But welcome. We're preparing for our second series of the day, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be CrowdControl. You saw an interview with Lulba there, feeling confident enough about beating Sidestep Kings. And of course, Sidestep Kings, the only team running in with Koreans. The only team that actually crosses all three regions that the CCL covers. The only team with a North American player, a Korean player, and a European player. So all getting that full coverage there. But right now, as Lulba said, it has been visible that we have been seeing what looks like some kind of difficulties with communication from the side of Sidestep Kings. CrowdControl, they've looked strong. They have dropped one series, but that has only happened when they have fought against Wild Hearts. Right now, the team in second place. So if CrowdControl win, they will actually move up into basically tied second place with Wild Hearts. And they need that win. They really do need that win to try and keep themselves near the top of the table. Whereas we look at Sidestep Kings, they are 1-1 right now. They definitely need to push themselves back in. So far, currently only beating Simplicity and then losing to Granite Gaming in a 3-0. Excuse me, exciting to see. So, and that was, of course, as we said before, predicted by Lulba. So let's see if Lulba is right about this as well. Will his team be able to take down Sidestep Kings, or will fans, boys, be able to smash their way through? Again, no new players for these teams. These are teams that have not swapped any of their players around. So they're going to be going in with their original rosters. Of course, we might see the swap out. Of course, we have seen in week 1, Sidestep Kings decided to bring in Hyde. In week 2, they brought in June. Question is, how are they going to play versus CrowdControl? Will they maybe adopt more of a Wild Heart style and maybe do a double support play in order to adopt the style that they know works effectively? Or will we see anything else? For now, looks like the draft has started, so let us jump into that, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to be seeing CrowdControl on the left. They will be taking the first pick, first ban. And as such, they ban out the Junkrat, Sidestep Kings, removing ETC, and we are underway. So we get this going. Oops, didn't mean to do that. That's fine. Didn't affect the stream. Everything's fine. Don't panic. I didn't break anything. Don't ask questions. Alrighty. CrowdControl taking quite a while on their second ban. There we go. Finally going to ban out Chromie. And Sidestep Kings, they ban away the Garrosh. They're trying to choke Lulba, a strategy that has been utilized even all the way back to HGC style days, but that allows the Medivh to pop out immediately from CrowdControl. So Sidestep Kings, they get Diva and Tyrael. The Tyrael is something we've been seeing played quite a bit by Simplicity recently, so it's now being picked up by the side of CrowdControl, playing the Tyrael themselves with Cattle on this. They're also bringing Hyde today, not June. Very interesting. Okay. There's going to be an Imperius and a Cassia combo. Sidestep Kings, by the way, very excited team. They've used their substitute the most out of any team so far. They also have one of the widest hero pools. Both these teams, in fact, have one of the widest hero pools out of any of the teams so far, as Stukov will be removed. Stukov, of course, into Imperius, with Imperius is so terrifying to deal with, but that does imply that there's a different plan for Sidestep Kings, as Hyde would have loved that Stukov. Also, another change. Kyocha, usually the banner for the team. The banning pat has now been swapped to Ultralisk for Sidestep Kings. They are making changes. We'll see if they can work out whether they work out for them. Chad is correct. This is the first Tyrael play by Cattle in this tournament. Now Furion coming in for Hyde. Usually a little bit of a June special, but We do know that Hyde is still very proficient on it. They played Malfurion once so far this season and lost with it. I believe that was a June play, though. Excuse me. CrowdControl now. They need their healer. They, of course, can still play Ana. X-Ray very proficient with that. If not, they still have quite a few options. They've been playing a little bit of Karazim. And the Brightwing going to be coming in as their pickup here. How often have they played Brightwing? They have played it twice. 50% of win rate on that Brightwing. And Godfell finishing off the draft of Sidestep Kings with a Mephisto. A very scary final pick here. This is also their first Mephisto. Very interesting. Sidestep Kings playing very far out of their usual hero picks. Massively raising their hero pool, as we said they have done before. They're bringing the chaos. Very excited to see. This is interesting. Sidestep Kings. Lorba talked about them making changes. Have they done that? Swapping the banner. Swapping everything around. Is this going to be enough? Reminder, ladies and gentlemen, we are here today because we're casting the HeroesCCL presented by Roll20. If you're enjoying yourself, drop a sub, drop a donation of bits or via Streamlabs if you don't want to give Twitch as much of your money. Let me get rid of my hiccups. And of course, if you are enjoying yourself, then make sure you check out our sponsor for today. It costs you nothing, but you can support other people and myself while doing so by hitting !SNUC in chat. You can vote in their People's Choice Award to find out which of their PCs has the biggest Black Friday discount. You can literally vote in a poll, and the one that wins will have the bigger Black Friday discount. Let's head into the game. It's gonna be good. Of course, the vote will be between not Sidestep Kings, between Vortex and Ghost Canyon. So make sure you vote to support me. And maybe the hero scene as well. Let's see how they want to go. As we move in, Sidestep Kings on the right. CrowdControl on the left. As we get this underway. Lorba looking to move forward. That Imperious very heavy on the engage. They have follow-up. They've gone for Burn the Impure. They've got that percentage damage. The overlay will eventually appear, everybody. I hope. Hopefully they'll give us an overlay so we can see the team name, so you guys can see the team names. For now, though, Siege comes in. Cattle plays safe. Yeah, of course, I cannot affect quality, I cannot affect the camera, and I cannot affect anything on the UI because I am watching a clean feed. I am basically doing what you guys are doing right now, just with a louder voice. Alrighty, we have the overlays. We're going to be seeing, of course, that Portal Mastery, full metal once again. That great team-wide shield boost for Cattle on that Tyrael. Great little bit of sustain. Yocho will finally head down. That is going to be a Zul running into a D.Va. A matchup that I believe Zul does okay with, but D.Va will win in the long run. Should be quite difficult to deal with. It's an ace in the hole for Reyna. Maximum damage output. Support camp being taken. A barge emitter. Gonna be seized. So a little bit of harassment from Godfell, but not enough to make anything happen as of yet. They're sticking together for the moment. It's going to be a backlash, by the way, for Zul. 9 stacks already from Hutzau on this Medivh. Already causing problems. They have played Medivh once and have a 100% win rate. Let's see if our usual strategy of, oh, we don't have to ban Medivh this game and then losing to Medivh, my usual prediction, is going to carry on. That always seems to be what happens. In light for Cassia, as well as Thunderstroke on level 1, going for a poke and sustain-based build. Ooh, here we go. Talent swapping around. We got something different, team. Kyocha bringing out some anti-heals. The Aggression Matrix. 30% anti-heal on anyone in that defense matrix. And basic attacks against heroes reduce the cooldown of defense matrix by 0.1875 seconds. Always good. We don't see that talent enough. I'm excited to see if they can make it work. Full tank build coming in for Zul. Going in for the sustain as they go for a Grim Scythe build. Unstable Anomaly. No surprise there. for the Brightwing. Talent's pretty normal most of the way across the board here, with that aggression matrix being a little bit different here. And we do, of course, see some flexibility on Imperius level 1 and Cassia level 1 and 4. Lot of pressure being applied. Gottfelth making the most of this Mephisto at this early stage of the game. Here comes Kyocha. Pops in to say hello. Just gonna boost past. Gonna head up to top and D-push that instead. Not here for the fight, but Rutzau makes his way in for the defense. Level 7. Peekaboo. A little bit of nice sustain that way. Good Celestial Charge. Lauber gets the Force of Will. That will protect him. He's going to be forced to portal out, though. Took quite a few hits. He's got that level 7 no. Flash of Anger will now be available to him. The only talent worth taking. Didn't even need it for that kill, though. As they burst their way through Cattle. First Blood going over to CrowdControl. They send Zul back down bot. Get that soak. And yet, Lauber's holding his 7. I'm curious what other talents he would go for. The only other one I can think of that might be worth it is Holy Further. Okay, there we go. Flash of Anger. No Holy Further this time for wave clear. They stick with the actual best talent right now on Imperius' kit, in my opinion. It's a full defense matrix diva. Oh my god, into a Poly Celestial Charge. That's not a huge amount of CC, actually. This may work out in their favor. All they have to do is sidestep the charge and deal with the Poly. That's interesting. That is very interesting. Let's see if it's enough. Kyoja flipping that build around crazy style. X-Ray makes his way onto the point. He's holding it for the moment, just a congestion. It's not going to stop any of that channel, but it buys time for Lauber, who charges in. They're looking for Cattle once again. Cattle self-shields, keeps himself alive this time. Lauber makes his way back. He is the one holding that heal pulse. Dodges. Good job, Kyocha. Able to avoid Lauber here. Self-destruct. Looking like it may have to be used. No, they hold it. But that is going to be the Protector going over to CrowdControl. Sidestep Kings unable to step back onto the point. Kyocha making their way back down to bot to soak experience as a little bit of damage is done to mid. And the Protector will make its way up to top. Of course, the main objective here is to focus down that fountain. Take that out as best you can. Big punch. Nice. Popping it. Skeletal Mages, Angelic Armaments, Leyline Seal, Valkyrie. Fountain will be slain very easily. Single punch and Blink Heal. Coming in for Brightwing. No fancy Emerald Wind plays. Level 10 just around the corner for Sidestep Kings, but right now they are beginning to fall quite far behind. There you can see that incredible speed boost, the Swift Retribution coming in from Cattle. Attack speed and speed boost. Really effective when you got an auto attacker on your team, and Raider is no exception to that as level 10 is on the board. Sanctification, no surprise there. Micro Missiles, Durance of Hate, Raider's Raider, and Malfurion. I think this has to be a Twilight Dream. It is. They need that extra damage. They're going to hold the point. Durance of Hate comes out. They get a lot of sustain through it, though, using that Force of Will. Leyline splits the team in two. Kyocha is popped out of the mech. Sank is on the 10. Was used. Did not get full value as the camp was taken. Loba able to pick that up. Cattle forced to back away, burning basically every heroic. Valkyrie and Angelic Armaments were just held, though. Loba literally just tanked through all that. All that engage, all that team fight. Everything used there. And Loba was not able to kill Cattle, but Cattle was unable to even get through Loba to use this heroic. Very unfortunate here as we see the invade with Portal onto the bottom. That's a good route. Medallion has to be used by Die now. We see Kyoto from over the wall. Anti-heal is applied. Tries to cut off their escape route. But Loba causing so much of a distraction. Maybe he's a bit of more than he can chew, though. Kyoto will be popped out the mech once again. But Loba, again, Portal dropped. And Rusau showing why Medivh is a problem. When it comes to these pro games, why he's banned every game. Got filth. Good damage, really making the most of that. Mephisto caught in the root. The Bone Prison. They chase their way forward. Arcane Rift is done. Rutzau is not messing around today. Portals dropped for the fast rotation, allowing people to get to mid if they want to, but it looks like they're just going to start the turret camp instead. Zul's already made his way up to top lane. Will be soaking that very effectively. And Kyocha, he's getting bullied again. He's becoming stacks. Lots of stacks being applied there by Dynow. Level 13 on the board. We're going to be seeing a big engage, big focus. Kyocha in trouble. He doesn't have good to go yet. No level 13. He's on the run, just trying to buy time for the keep to kill Lauber, but Force of Will says absolutely not. Easy escape there. They turn around, they disengage. Valkyrie, great medallion by Ultralisk. Shuts that down. And Eve back into the sky. It's a 4-man push in bot lane. Zul double soaking in the meantime because he clears lanes just so fast. Spell armor coming in from X-Ray. Keeps his team sustained through that Mephisto. Excuse me. It's the pixie dust. They keep the sustain going. Mephisto desperately trying to match the Zul because D.Va was busy. Ultra's making the most of that swift retribution to try and trade some damage onto X-Ray. Cattle comes in. Cattle, again, when the objective is up, stuck at about half health here. Kyocha, stunned out, has self-destructs. Might have to use it this time. No, will sustain. Couple missiles coming in. Shields from Cattle. They will back away. They now have the armor reduction on level 13. Another defense matrix talent that is just never taken. It's just a full defense matrix build coming in here with target locked. In that 15% armor reduction and that 25% slow. See if it makes a difference. They're, of course, going to be going for the diverting power later on, which will give a lot of anti-healing. A lot of anti-healing. Enduring Will coming in from CrowdControl from Rutsau. Top currently held by CrowdControl. Are they going to invade this point? Do they even know? They do know Rutsau has the vision. They're not going to invade it, though. They were ready. You could see D.Va pre-charging in case anyone decided to come in via portal. Keep them disrupted. Keep them off the point. Look at that. X-Ray was trying to sneak that, but instead they were forced to back off. As we see Sidestep Kings focusing on map macro, grabbing themselves some turrets as opposed to trying to contest the objective. They're just chasing shadows at this point, but they're keeping themselves in this game XP-wise. Level 16 just around the corner. Entire objective goes straight over to CrowdControl right now. Azul just gets it. No contention here. CrowdControl keeping Sidestep Kings, running around the map, keeping them moving. It's Sword of Justice. No surprise here, coming in for the Tyrael. Sword of Justice and Bound by Law. Right now, it is just Zul in this, who will tank through nicely, though. Bot foot goes down. Rutsau busy pushing in. Here's Lauber. Will Lauber be one to join him in the Protector? Yes, he will. Lauber will be the one to get on board. They make their way forward. Got Filth. A little bit of damage dealt. Nothing too exciting as of yet. A lot of wave clear, of course, coming in so quickly from Dayquaza as he's been swapped out in exchange for X-Ray in that Protector. X-Ray's the one who needs the protection most if there was a counter-engage by Sidestep Kings. So they keep themselves safe that way. Level 16 just around the corner for Sidestep Kings. And even though Sidestep Kings are very far behind, they're only just about to lose their third fort. This could be worse. Valkyrie, rooted, so we can't make it through the portal. Was a little bit too impatient there. Dynow, a little bit too greedy, but here comes the flank. Force of Will. Ultralisk is completely isolated from his team. Surprise! Kyocha from the back. That's their first kill from the flanking D.Va. Kyocha comes in. That's going to be a good anti-heal drop as they did go for the diverting power. Not able to use it for anything, though. They slow Dayquaza. It's a 1 kill for 0 with that flank. Dynow was sniped. They're going to steal the camp away. Kyocha going to make its way back up. Lauber, they're going to try and invade it. They thought about it. There's Leyline. They're holding it. Cattle holding the point. Not even using Sank yet. They're just delaying and tanking it. They did burn their biotic emitter in order to make sure they survived that fight. Good attempt with the Leyline, but the disengage was good. And suddenly, Sidestep Kings They're still very far behind. They've got a long way to go, but they are back in this game. If they can start winning objectives, that's when this starts. But they are really starting to scale very well here. They've got that Burning Halo now. Great harassment. Malfurion's healing output is good. They got a percentage damage from Mephisto. The type that really makes him scary damage-wise. Leyline. Kyota comes in. That anti-heal and armor reduction is very, very strong. And that's forcing back the members of CrowdControl right now. They found a comp to make this work. Valkyrie sidestepped by the Kings as they make their way forward. Quasar is melted by Gottfeld. And we are seeing that Mephisto scaling coming into effect. The sheer damage output of Mephisto is showing up for Sidestep Kings as they are able to turn another fight round. They've just doubled their kill count. Able to finish off Quasar. They look to replace that biotic emitter they just lost. Someone else is going to have to pick it up. They're going to have to drop a turret for this. Kyota is not here, and he appears to be the only one without an item. They're looking to maybe steal it. They blink off, they hold the point, and Hyde will get it. They dropped a turret for it. As they make their way back. They still have that healing pulse, though. It's still worth it. Clearing that out very quickly, getting themselves their siege camp. No match yet from CrowdControl, who are still hunting, looking to play aggressive. Heroic cooldown reduction highlighted by our observer there. This is looking strong. Looking very strong. They smash their way through. That is good. Getting themselves that counter siege. They still have, of course, all their forts up. CrowdControl hold themselves together. Kyota. Cleaning that up. That speed boost. That speed boost from Tyrael is just so insane. That swift retribution, very hard to deal with, very hard to get away from. It's 20% more movement speed from the original Smite, which already gives you an extra 25% movement speed. So it's 45% extra movement speed and some extra attack speed. It's pretty good. 25% attack speed. It's pretty strong. Very tough to deal with. The reason it's picked as like the only talent outside of sometimes Reciprocate. No one picks Purge Evil, feels bad. Top lane's being pushed up a little bit. Nothing too hard yet. There we go. Now they commit. Burning their way through that front wall. But that is, again, going to be, by the looks of it, another Protector sacrificed by Sidestep Kings. They don't have 20, so they race 20. Sacrifice yet more on the map in order to just make sure they have everything. Imprisoning Light. Mortal Wounds. Anti-healing of their own. Lulba now does consistent percentage damage. He no longer consumes those Valorous Brands. Invisible Friends for X-Ray. Invisible Lulba engages. Pretty tough to deal with. Mimic for Gottfeld. That damage output is good. Holy Arena will be insane. There's a lot of damage output here. Armor reduction from Ultralisk. Kyota busted out the time and attack for poking them down. Work them so that Gottfeld can finish the job. Portal has to be used. And look at the aggression from Sidestep Kings. They know that this is their key moment to fight. The Protector has been abandoned. Only one person in it. Charge onto D.Va, who's in trouble. Self-destruct is immediately going to be used. They tank through. Self-destruct only really hits a minion. Disengage comes out. They knock Lulba for a loop here as he comes through the portal, keeping themselves safe. Damage reduction and anti-heal, but Ultralisk is still being chased down. Leyline, he dodges it. The Medivh cheats is going to catch Gottfeld, but Sanctification for the turnaround as they chase through the laser. As Kyota is on the back line, causing too much grief for the turnaround. Die now. Valkyries, he finds it. Imprisoning Light, they look for it. They interrupt the Twilight Dream. Hyde is able to back up, though, thanks to the protection of Kyota and Gottfeld. They stay alive. The Protector expires. The Valkyrie with Imprisoning Light was good, but it wasn't enough to finish off Hyde. He still has Twilight Dream. He didn't even go for the extra teleport, the Astral Communion. He went for more heals. The great protection there from Kyota, from Cattle, from Gottfeld. to keep him alive. Damage up, you can see Reyna is topping, but Mephisto will be catching up very quickly. Cassia top in the game right now, though, with Imperius pretty close behind. Loba comes in. Kyoto staying as close as he can, try to dodge the stun, but he doesn't do it. His hitbox is too wide. Damage reduction being dropped, keeping them sustained as Dayquaza will steal the camp. Not much they can do about this. They're going to look for Loba, though. Force of Will is there. Self-destruct. They split the team. Leyline gets them out. They have that cooldown reduction on Leyline. They can afford to burn it in situations like this. Heal camp is being taken, though. There's the opportunity for Sidestep Kings to come in for a steal. And they will do so. CrowdControl, knowing they don't have that Leyline, they don't have that get-out-of-jail free card, they're going to back away. They had Valkyrie, but that's it. Instead, run for their turret, and they will pick that up. Rotation comes in from Sidestep Kings, but they just can't keep up with this Medivh. The portals are making those rotations too fast for them to catch. It's objectives where Sidestep Kings may finally have to make their stand. They're making one heck of a comeback here to bring themselves back into this, but CrowdControl have been in a dominant position most of the game. It's a very low kill game, 3-2. CrowdControl have shown that they know when to be patient. They know when to give themselves some time. Let's see them make something with it. If they can deal with a lot of those heroics, they're on very long cooldowns. They need to time their fight around the objective to give them enough time. Invisible Friends setting up a trap. Rutzao sees them. Dayquaza shows. Die now is revealed. Trade some damage onto Kyocha. Cattle are bound by law. Keeps a little bit of pressure on as well. Slows down the engage. Loba sidestepped by Kyocha. There's the armor, healing, and damage reduction. And that's going to force the portal. Dayquaza disengaging. They don't want to burn heroics, though. They're all in on this disengage right now, because if they have to burn heroics, they won't be available for the fight. Leyline is used. Catches two. Catches Tyrael and catches Mephisto. Valkyrie catches Malfury, and that's a good target. Sank is good. Twilight Dream for the turnaround is cleansed by X-Ray. What a play. Both teams on the disengage, but they charge Godfilth. He's able to get away with the Mimic, but can he escape? Or she returns to his original spot. Cattle dropping low. They drop the biotic emitter. And Sidestep Kings barely survive. They try to turn it. Dayquaza barely escapes. Both these teams hanging on by a thread. This is game one, as we see a very stressful game between these two teams. CrowdControl, they're so close. They've got all three forts down, but they just can't put Sidestep Kings down. And Sidestep Kings, they are scaled, but they can't find their angles. Polymorph is dropped. Loba did not like the charge. Medivh cheats, catches Cattle. Portal's there. Rutzao gets away. Kyocha was looking for an opportunity. He dropped it. It's going to keep autoing. Wants to get that defense matrix off cooldown as fast as possible. Charges in and self-destruct is available. Has to be used. He gets it. Gets out of the self-destruct. Force of Will expire. Loba gets out of range. Avoids the self-destruct this time. Rutzao gets chunked by Ultralisk. There's the charge. Quick re-aim on the defense matrix. Ultralisk looks for the turnaround. Great route by Hyde. Is it enough? Dayquaza tags through. Leyline shuts them down again. Leyline just won't let this game end. This is why Medivh is banned. The objective continues to channel. 36% to 64 in favor of CrowdControl. Twilight Dream is still up. Skeletal Mage is still up. These are the big impact heroics. They move forward. We're going to see that Biotic Emitter picked up Portal just in case they had to leave. They're moving forward, looking for Kyocha. Root. Drops a couple micro missiles. Defense Matrix. Doesn't catch as many people as he would like this time. That's a big part of their engage. Leyline, 20 seconds out. Cooldown reduction from the autos. They get the good Celestial charge. Godfilth dives in, tries to snipe the Cassia. Sanctification gives him the escape route afterwards. He goes back in with the cooldown reduction. Loba has dropped low percentage damage, not landing this time. Loba survives. Blink heal, giving them that healing over time. The fight is over. Sidestep Kings will claim the Protector. Kyocha and Ultralisk will be inside. Hyde just staying real far back. Cattle causing some harassment. But you can see the risk of having a healer outside. HeroesCCL is waiting for his opportunity to ley line, so his team can just run past that protector and try and end the game. That is HeroesCCL's plan right now. That is the risk of having your healer outside the protector. But in this case, he needs to keep Gotfilth alive. If Gotfilth lives, they have the damage to win fights. So stressful. They charge in. Good jump by the protector. Now it is just Kyolcha inside. They need Ultralisk out. Rocket Punch. Loba takes quite a bit of damage. Going to be able to use the portal to get out. They disengage. Durance attempted by Gotfilth. Baroque is down. He didn't pick the upgrade, obviously, so no silencers. Charge onto Cattle. Teleports out. Will be caught in the Bone Prison, but he will tank through. Still 47 seconds left on this protector, but it only has 12% health left. It will be abandoned now. That top keep. Going to be a little pressured. Ultralisk is clearing up to bottom lane. Feeling too much. Kyolcha has gone in. They're looking for Die now. Anti-healing is good. They denied a little bit of that healing from the Brightwing. Die now still only at half health instead of much healthier. Going to get out with that War Traveler ley line on the self-destructing mech once again. Prevents the engage. Medivh, HeroesCCL here is what's standing between Sidestep Kings and turning this game around to end it. Medivh has shut them down so many times. Even if Sidestep Kings win this, Medivh will return to being banned. There is no question in my mind. Bottom keep, barely standing thanks to Ultralisk. HeroesCCL can kill it, but he can't risk it. He has to stay alive. Or will he risk it? Oh, he's going to risk it. He has enough vision of everyone, so he knows he can do it. Portals to buy himself some time to mount. And he will make it back. His team knows he will make it back. They push top and mid. The rest of Sidestep Kings, they know they can't stop him. They counter push a fort, but they're trading a fort for 2 keeps. Gotfilth makes it back home. Everyone else a little bit slow, but that keep is gonna fall. This is not an effective trade. Keep goes down. They know where they are, though. This is the chance for Sidestep Kings to maybe make a play, but again, the disengage. So strong. They speed boost in, try to make most of Swift Retribution. They can't do it. They can't keep up with them. CrowdControl back to how they were earlier on in the game and just making Sidestep Kings chase shadows. The shadow of where their buildings used to be. They didn't even get the fort. The fort lived. That's the situation Sidestep Kings are in right now. Where they are chasing CrowdControl desperately, trying to make something happen. The one last keep is being pushed in right now. And they have an escape route. They can just back away. Gotfilth is going to port back. Everyone else is running. But they're already gone. The front wall is taken out. And Sidestep Kings have nothing to show for it. They got a little bit of damage on the top 4, but that is all. They're going to clean up. In the meantime, HeroesCCL keeps his eyes open. Keeps the sustain going. It was Sidestep Kings who picked this map. CrowdControl first picked Medivh. Waves being cleared, held by Cattle, shielding the minion wave to buy time. Look at him, he's so desperate to catch someone. They need it. This is exactly what they should be doing. Don't get me wrong, just because they're desperate doesn't mean they're making mistakes. They just have to make something happen. And now this is going to be the merry-go-round. Kyolcha, though, has split off from the team. He's sending out the missiles with timing attack to zone people away from that mid-keep while his team pressures top. But again, they're still split. It's going to take one rotation from CrowdControl to make their way in and bully out the members of Sidestep Kings. Camp going to be stolen. Kyolcha bullying away Die now in that mid lane. Bot lane being pushed up, trying to create catapult pressure. Nequaza pushes that up with quite a few skeletons. 44 to 27 right now in favor of CrowdControl. An intense first match of this series. Turret will be acquired. 2 catapults, about to be 3 in this bottom lane, forces a reaction. They got a little bit of time. The catapults are all that matter that they clear. The minion wave can wait. It will be cleared eventually. Ultras is going to look like he's going to move up and grab this last catapult as well. Hide with the assist. And we can see CrowdControl slowing down their capture of the point as well. They want this siege camp too. X-Ray and Die now picking that up. Catapult pressure has been slowed down. It has not been negated by Sidestep Kings. There's still catapults continuing, and they only pushed up to just below the halfway point, so that will still push against them. 75 to 80. Die now pushing in mid. 4 more members on the way. How many are they willing to send back to save this last keep? Do they save this last keep? They left Kyoto on the point. Protector is theirs. Keep will fall for this. Is it worth it? Hyde moves in. Portal, they're already gone. The terror of Medivh. In the meantime, the Protector is marching its way mid to try and start punching shit. Leyline. Medivh cheats. Catches Hyde. This might be over right now. There come the ghouls. That's a good sank, though. They get the charge. And that's going to force Lauber to back away. Great sank. Durance landed 2, forcing out the cleanse. They live. Kyocha, he just ditched the Protector to port back, so he's there for the fight. He literally abandoned it. The smart play in this case. It would take him way longer to walk that down to bot than it would take him to get out and port. But now that Protector is going to be basically worthless. The value of this Protector right now is that CrowdControl didn't get it. They're still going to put Ultralisk inside. Shields the team. Cattle all aboard as well. No sank yet. Not going to be that useful. They'll still get some value out of this. They still have Twilight Dream as well. That was held during the fight. Timing attack, micro missiles. Kyocha continues to siege Gotfilth, doing everything he can, but the keep will live. The D-push from CrowdControl is too good. And right now, Sidestep Kings seem to be in a situation of death by 1,000 cuts, but the fact is, they are applying bandages almost as quickly as CrowdControl keeps stabbing them. CrowdControl just can't put them down. Sidestep Kings, they make it back to base. They're going to clear out the catapults. Oh, you can hear that ticking? It's not a clock, it's an issue with my headset. That's what I was hoping wasn't a thing. Unless that was a metaphor. If you're hearing ticking while I'm talking, it's something broken with my headset, which is really annoying because this headset costs 300 quid. And I don't have that. Actually, no, it's like 150. You mean figurative clock? Oh, thank God. Okay, I thought my headset was broken. Alrighty, we're good. Sidestep King still applying band-aids as quickly as they are being attacked. But they've got to keep D-pushing. Going to get themselves a siege camp that will relieve some pressure. Right now, this game ends by catapults. I don't think there's another way this game ends. This game ends by Sidestep Kings being held in a fight so long that the catapults just end the game because they scale too hard. That's how this game ends. This game 1 is going to end via catapults. I don't think there is any situation without someone really getting caught out or messing up that one of these teams wins a straight-up fight. There's just not enough CC to interrupt Sank or that defense matrix. And there's not enough damage, not enough lockdown to stop Medivh just getting everyone out of there for Sidestep Kings. I don't think either of these teams can win this game standard. It's just going to have to be due to the fact that the game will eventually end on its own, in which case, CrowdControl should win this. Of course, there is always the backdoor attempt, but their core race isn't the best. And of course, there is always the Invisible Friends gank. Kill Tyrael first, you got yourself an engage you might be able to win. You kill Tyrael first, there is no sank. Cattle is what's keeping his team in the game at this point. Both drafts are good, are just good enough to counter each other. Both these drafts are terrifying. Sidestep Kings are very much based around how little CC crowd control have. Crowd control's draft is based around the fact that Sidestep Kings can't catch them. They don't have enough hard engage. Neither draft is bad. Both just counter each other. The problem is crowd controls is more macro. They had a better early game and a better long game because they can push and disengage. Defense Matrix, Valkyrie finds no one, but they charge Kyocera. Interruption of Loba, though, prevents him from keeping that charge going. And look at that, disengage once again. Both these drafts are very, very strong. It's just the fact that neither one is able to kill the other at this stage. They find Equaza, he's a little far out. Look at them, they're a little scared about the engage, though. That Defense Matrix really keeping them healthy, Kyocera. Medallions his way out. Doesn't want to take any risks. They're going to start their turret. Rutzau sees it. Cattle will work on that. They kill the catapults as well. And this is the problem. They were kept mid. Suddenly they were kept mid and top. Suddenly 3 catapults were there. That's going to keep being a problem. And that problem will keep getting worse as this game goes on. Turret's going to be grabbed for both teams. CrowdControl thought about the engage and decided against it. Yeah, we're still on 5 takedowns. That's how insane this game has been. Kyocera clearing out 1 catapult. Top Siege going to be wiped out as well. But the catapult clear-out time is currently the win condition for CrowdControl. There are so many catapults on the map with all 3 keeps down that they get a lot of extra time on this point. Up to 38%. Siege camp is taken. Sidestep Kings have shown they don't really care about the objective and they will ignore it. But we are at the point that this is going to be a 35-minute protector. I don't think they can ignore this. They have to deal with this, and you can see them rotating bot. Can they kill Loba quick enough? Loba, invisible friends. He's invisible. Will not be catchable at this stage. He backs away. But the second Sidestep Kings step on, Top's getting pushed again. Dino and X-Ray are just out-macroing them. They don't have Rutzau with them, but Rutzau is keeping an eye on the rest of the team, so they know when they're coming. Catapult pressure is applied. Equaza is even with them. Here comes Cattle. They've sent everyone up here except Kyocera. Kyocera's trying to delay the point. Have they abandoned the point? They're just going to look for a fight. 80% to 31. They are desperately hunting. Like a caged animal, Sidestep Kings lash out, trying to find any piece of exposed skin on the side of CrowdControl. Overtime is being held. Kyocera has made his way down. Gotfilth and Cattle are on the way. In the meantime, the back door is initiated. They're trying to force the checkmate our CrowdControl. How long will they have as they make their way in? Dino, Dayquaza, and X-Ray look to end. Ultralisk makes his way in to buy some time. He's polyed, he's focused, he's burst. He's taking a lot of damage. He dodges the Valkyrie. He holds as long as he can, but he dies, dropping the turret. The core down to 58%. Checkmate is called by CrowdControl as they force their way onto the core. The turret is dropped. Cattle tries to delay, but he can't catch Dino. That is GG, and game number 1 goes over to CrowdControl. Incredible play by CrowdControl. The patience of saints in order to make that victory happen. That was some glorious micro and macro. That's exactly what they had to do, Black Belt, though. They couldn't have done it earlier because that's the only time they had all 3 keeps down and had that much pressure where they could have actually made that play work. It all came down to that moment. It was a really well-executed backdoor from CrowdControl with great patience to buy the time, leaving Loba, the person with arguably some of the worst core clear, down in that bot lane. They even put Medivh bouncing to interrupt the ports to try and give them more time, and then they just used the fact that with Medivh slowing down everyone's rotation, they were able to make their way onto the core quicker, focus down. Ultralisk arrived first, which is all of the team's damage, and the second that happened, it was over. Very, very well played by its CrowdControl. Sidestep Kings, though, one of the best games versus a Medivh we've seen in a while, but Medivh is still really, really strong. Typical Birdman. Yep, agreed. Nope, Medivh. That was rough. That was very rough indeed. That was game number 1. Like I said, it does not matter because this is what happens every time Medivh shows up. He will be banned again. We have no questions about that unless Sidestep Kings are feeling real saucy. That is just the situation they are in. Tough match. Very tough match. One of the best matches we've seen from Sidestep Kings so far. Really, really nicely done. Solid draft. Well executed. Really nice play, using the fact that they basically just had an insane fight. Am I getting a rash? Ooh, that doesn't look good. Wonder what's happening there. I thought it felt itchy. That's not good. Oh well. Hopefully I'm not getting too sick. We'll see. Either way, very, very well played indeed. That was definitely one of the better Sidestep Kings matches we have seen. But Medivh, they've really tried to use the lack of crowd control and make a comp around it. And against most other compositions where area control would have been the deciding factor of that match, Sidestep Kings might have won with that composition. The Medivh was what shut them down. Simple as. Talk about being between a rock and a hard place. Exactly, Tatsu. 100% came down to that. Very nicely done. Really good to see. Alrighty. Well, that's game number 1 of this best of 5 series. Whew, okay. I am hyped. That is good. If that's the caliber of game we're getting today, that is awesome. And a reminder, we are going to be casting these games tomorrow as well. We are right now on CrowdControl versus Sidestep Kings. Tomorrow, we will have Simplicity versus Granite Gaming. I thought that might be the highlight of the week, but right now, CrowdControl and Sidestep Kings are giving me a good run for my talk. And then, of course, the final match of the week will be Chili Mountain versus 30k. I'll be bringing you all of those on twitch.tv/Tetcher. Tune in, share with your friends, show them that there is an alternate cast if they want to hear a British person cast. Feels good. With 2/3 more European than the other stream, which has 2 Americans and a European on it. I miss Grubby. Legit, we haven't hung out in a while, and I want to hang out more. We said we would, and we always forget to make plans. Feels bad. Alrighty, so. I mean, hang out online, obviously, because hanging out in person is not happening. Hooray! Alrighty, as we get ready for game number 2, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about... Hey, Nancy, appreciated. When we come in, we are getting prepared for game number 2, but as a reminder, you are watching the HeroesCCL presented by Roll20. I am your caster, Tetcher. I need healing, apparently, because I am warm! And my aircon appears to be struggling to draw power, which is an oops, unfortunate. And swing. Thank you for the 69-bit noise. Thank you very much. That's why you're here. Well, it is appreciated. As I was about to say, though, a swing perfectly pointed out, if you're enjoying the stream, maybe consider dropping those bits, dropping a subscription. I might have to replace my headset soon, which is another 180 to 200 pounds that I just don't have. But if I want to keep casting, which is my only source of income, I just have to do that. But thank you very much, Nancy, for the gifted sub to Tatsunoki. Oh, man. Tatsumonkey, that's it. Thank you very much for gifting the sub to them. If you are enjoying, be like them. Drop a sub, drop a donation via bits or via Streamlabs if you're feeling saucy. Let's check that because I can miss those from time to time. Because I don't actually have the alerts on, so they make noise for me, so I don't get distracted during cast. We do not. But of course, it is very appreciated any support you can give. And of course, today's stream is brought to you by the wonderful people over at SNUC Gaming, otherwise known as Simply Nuck. They are an Intel-powered machine company where they make some fantastic gaming machines, and they have been running their People's Choice campaign, where you can vote on which system receives the bigger Black Friday discount. We are right now down to our final 2. We are having Ghost Canyon, a small form factor machine about yay big by yay big. Very easy to carry around with you, absolutely brilliant. And it can still fit a graphics card inside it, and that's going to be against Vortex. Slightly longer, but has the opportunity to fit a full-length card in it. Both can have i7s, i9s, very powerful machines, so make sure you vote on which one will receive the bigger Black Friday to Cyber Monday discount by using command !SNUC in chat. Show your support for them because they are supporting me, which is allowing me to do these casts a little easier. You guys supporting me very well, but sponsorships really help pay the bills a lot. So also, if you know a company that might want to sponsor esports people, check them my way. I'll put in the extra mile of work, because I always try to. Also, tune in next week for the last stream, where we'll have a fun little commercial that I'm currently making. Should be done. We have our draft set up. Let's head in as we jump into game number 2. Feels so weird to say it's only game number 2. Sidestep Kings get first pick, and as such, they ban out the Medivh this time. Kyocha. There we go. I was about to say, Ultralisk is once again crowned. He will be banning in this situation. Ultralisk will be our banner, but Kyocha gets the first pick as D.Va materializes once again. Need that drink. CrowdControl now. They get Johanna. Lolba's back to classics. And Dynau's gonna get Sylvanas. Sylvanas still one of the best. Oh my god, no chill. Cattle getting that Anubarak. And we are seeing Sidestep Kings taking from their opponents last week, Granite Gaming. And they pick themselves up the Kerrigan. Nice. Very effective indeed. We'll see how well they're able to execute that. The Kerrigan was brought out by Granite Gaming last week, pulling off a great play with Nick, of course, playing that. So now we see the Stukov band away. Great follow-up to hard CrowdControl. Very sensible indeed. Now then. The Deathwing. Makes sense. They have that Kerrigan on the board. What counters it? Stuff that's immune to CrowdControl, stuff that can disengage, and big body blocks. So they go for that Deathwing ban. They've got the triple melee right now. This will be all they are going to pick up. They will now have one ranged hyper carry and one healer. Ranged-wise, I'm expecting maybe a Vala, Reyna, or Hanzo. CrowdControl. Brightwing, one of the best counters to Kerrigan in terms of supports. Brightwing and Uther, two of the go-tos. Great armor, abilities to get around hard CC comps. They have a Kharazim Greymane! It's an all-in comp! Forget hyper carries! It's all in from Sidestep Kings, going for a heavy kill comp. And Brightwing, burst healing, but only on one target. If Sidestep Kings can spread out or change targets mid-fight, they might be able to make a real mess of that. CrowdControl now. Last pick, Assassin. Second support, maybe, just to keep him sustained. Sylvanas could definitely hyper carry. Yes, they do. They pick Uther, giving themselves that second support to allow Sylvanas to hyper carry. We talked about Uther being the second best support to deal with Kerrigan. Armor against CrowdControl is always welcome with that Garden of Ancient Kings. And of course, they have the great CrowdControl to interrupt Kerrigan during her wombos, interrupt the Anubarak. They've gone for a much more beefy front line here to tank their way through that and just try and turn those fights as they stand. Sylvanas is going to be trying to hyper carry her way through this. They've got Leo to deal with the tankiness. Smart draft from CrowdControl. I love the aggression coming out from the side of Sidestep Kings. I'm concerned that CrowdControl have got a good counter here. Sidestep Kings is tired of 40-minute games. Nice. Oh dear. They've definitely got more aggressive. They're going to be hunting and looking for kills a lot more. They have a lot more engaged this time. I'm curious if that's going to be enough for them to execute the kills that they are looking for. It's going to be a good game. No matter what, this game should be very, very entertaining. For now, we're going to be getting ready to jump into Towers of Doom. Let's make our way in. Ladies and gentlemen, on the left-hand side, it shall be CrowdControl. On the left-hand side, Lolba, X-Ray, Hutsao, Dequaza, and Dynau, representing pretty much entirely Europe with their team. They do have a sixth player who is non-European. And on the right-hand side, it is Sidestep Kings. Hyde, Gotfilth, Kyocha, Ultralisk, and Cattle, representing Korea, Europe, and the Americas. We roll on in as we get this started. Wave of light coming in from Uther. He doesn't trust the ability to get that cooldown reduction. Just keep hitting the team. Keep them up. That is the plan. They look for Lolba now. Lolba gets out. Quick little spell armor. Mice of the Banshee Queen from Die Now. That's going to be their main damage output. HeroesCCL keeps Johanna alive. Hyde, little bit deep, gets CC'd, dashes to Ultralisk. The Radiant dash is good. They try to turn around. They're trying to kill Lauber. Consistent theme every time Lauber plays Johanna as everyone just focuses Lauber. But in this case, it was a bait. As Sylve gets the turn, they're able to kill off Kerrigan. It's the early stage of the game. Ultralisk is taken out. First blood goes over to CrowdControl. Nicely done by them, putting on a very strong performance so far. Hyde clearing out minions as fast as he can, keeping the sustain going. Kerrigan going for a little bit of AoE, wants to be doing a massive area of effect damage in these fights to get them make the most of those big crits. So we just see camps taken by both teams. They will just mirror each other, but slightly quicker for Sidestep Kings. So we're seeing CrowdControl make their way down first. They're just going to go for the clear, making the most of Die Now here. Making their way forward. Mech was re-dropped up in top lane. Focus onto Cattle. Stunned out by HeroesCCL. CC is good. Lauber looks forward, looks for Gotfilth. Lauber has to Iron Skin. Went a little bit far forward this time, but he tanks through. Both teams just going to lose their camps. Neither one able to step up at this stage of the game. Rushdown coming in for D.Va. We're not going for the same build of last time because the crowd control is way higher. No pun intended, but very accepted. We're seeing the stun from HeroesCCL, we see the polymorph, we see the consistent stuns from Condemn, all going to make it much harder for D.Va to keep up defense matrix, therefore we don't see defense matrix. Also better for a burst style composition by being able to rush in and kill the enemies. Big focus, Kerrigan, double stun, follow up by Cattle, but HeroesCCL healed up, sustained by X-Ray here. HeroesCCL just tanking through, the healers don't care. Ultralisk trying to find the fight, but it is instead getting turned on again. Ultralisk looks to be in trouble. Hyde comes in with the heal. And at this stage of the game, the sustain output from CrowdControl is a bit too much for Kerrigan to deal with. Sharpened blades on the board. Sidestep Kings, a little bit more to go. Holy Shock coming in once again from HeroesCCL. Second time we've seen that today. Both from different people. We see a double trade up on top. Simple 1-for-1, 36 to 36 as Cattle begins to channel. Holy Shock first. They still have Shield Glare. Plenty of opportunities to make their way back in and try and steal this. Ultra starts to channel. Die Now moves in aggressively. There's the stun. Good movement by HeroesCCL to dodge the impale there. A lot of damage coming in. Has to play around it. HeroesCCL gets out. In the meantime, though, the distraction was effective enough. X-Ray able to channel that in. 2-for-1 in favor of CrowdControl. Sidestep Kings struggling. The outdraft right now looking strong. We called it at the start. It's proving to be quite problematic. Ultralisk getting CC'd quite a bit. The hold your ground was very smart by Lauber, getting that cooldown reduction. Get on the point, exactly what we like to see here. The mini stuns would be pretty solid, but it might disrupt Kerrigan. Get on the point, giving their team a speed boost. It's going to allow Kyosha to allow Kerrigan to chase the enemies a little bit more efficiently. A 20% movement speed buff to allies for 2 seconds. That's going to help everyone quite a bit. Nice little pickup there by Kyosha. Cattle going for a sort of combo build. Still going to go with the chitinous plating, cooldown reduction on his shield. Will keep him a little bit tankier here. Not going with the hard dive because he won't be diving all the time. Got to be playing it safe enough that he won't be killed too quickly. Cattle backs up. You can see that HeroesCCL was looking for Hyde there. It's level 8 to level 8. Slight XP lead, but not much. Camp still pushing. Big stun onto Hyde, who's forced to dash away. Camp will make it in. 2 sappers make it in. Top tower and the gate will be sniped. Hyde making the most of that huge damage output of Kharazim. There's an Iron Fist Kharazim, of course, with blinding speed now at level 7. Nice to see. Trading a bit of pressure back and forth. Single altar. Middle of the map. Hide. Having a poke around. Sees X-Ray channeling it. It's going to be up to Cattle to interrupt it. Will do so with the Impale. X-Ray not noticing that there is the bed of barbs underneath it. Zoning out again. Very effective by the side of CrowdControl. Kerrigan, Ultralisk made their way in. Unable to find the interrupt. Impaling Blades missed. Ultralisk able to back away. But they were not able to land the pull onto the Brightwing either. Thus preventing the follow-up pain. The Primal Grasp. A little bit shorter range than it used to be. Still pretty effective. Level 10 is on the board. Divine Storm. Of course, Blink Heal, Entomb, Blessed Shield, Wailing Arrow. Inside the Sidestep Kings, Maelstrom. They gotta have that damage output. Cocoon. Try and split someone off here. Micro Missiles, Cursed Bullet. What will Karazim pick? He might have to quick pick here as they focus Rutzau. Blink Heal saves the day once again with the phase shift for good measure. And the disengage again, and Sidestep King's going to be having PTSD. They clear out bot, protecting their bell tower, keeping it safe. And there's that 7-sided strike. They got to have that extra burst. Ultralisk find themselves a little isolated, but they die now. Charging in, not able to find the Impaling Blades. Ultralisk a little not able to dive in fully with that engage there. They go for the Boundless Strikes. Still holding on to Maelstrom though, buying their time, and Pale does not land. Kyocha trying to zone out Rutzau here. They turn onto Larbo, who's holding the point. Impaling Blades! This time they get Brightwing, finding the angle they were looking for. Hyde is tanking through, turns onto Rutzau, takes him out, and finally we see the fight that we have seen Sidestep Kings looking for. They're going to try and get Die Now, who just Haunting Waves out in time. That's going to be the Sappers making their way in. They take out top tower and a chunk of gate in that bottom lane as the channel will come in for Sidestep Kings. Finally finding the aggression they were looking for and the engage they needed. Sidestep Kings able to take the kill lead, in fact, with that double kill. Make their way over, going to grab their own pumpkins. Siege camp will be taken. Regen Master up to 70%. Sharpened Blades, 50% for Kerrigan. No stacks on Subdue, not finished. Hard quest to stack, of course. Uther already done with Wave of Light. Very hard matchup at this stage. Going to be seeing the Sappers taken out. They don't push up with them, unable to do so. Wave clear too fast. There's level 13, though. A little bit faster for Sidestep Kings, but not by much. There's good to go. Urticating Spines to combo with that cooldown reduction from the Chitinous Plating. Kerrigan getting a little bit of extra sustain herself here, going with the Volatile Power, increasing that Assimilation Shield by 10%. It reduces the duration, but let's be honest, if your shield has expired, the fight is over. So solid talent here. Chrysalis is the go-to, but again, let's be honest, the burst damage from CrowdControl ain't that high. So they don't feel too worried about that. And Sonic Barrier, there's enough auto-attack damage coming out of Sylvanas that it would not be the most viable talent here. So yes, the shields, a sensible choice. Good performance so far by both teams, but the lead is right now held. Sharpen Blades is complete. Double Altar up in top lane. It's now the name of the game. Sidestep Kings going to grab theirs. Just going to be a 1-for-1 trade. No worries. While Brightwing soaks bot globally. Engage. Maelstrom drops. Die Now deleted on that Sylvanas. Uther is in the cocoon, so he cannot be the second healer here and cannot give armor to the members. In fact, he will be chased down. Can they lock him in? He's dodging everything. Rutzau taking him for a ride. 7-sided strike, though, will be enough to finish the job. Good delay, but another double kill going over to Sidestep Kings. Their aggression really starting to show. They're managing to find isolations, exactly what they should be looking for. Got Filth. Clearing his way through that. They look forward. Ultras clearing out the lane. There's level 16 on the board. Emergency shielding for D.Va. Makes sense. Kyocera doesn't want to get burst down here. No debilitation coming in for the Anubarak this time, as they do look for Dequaza. Dequaza's a little bit too fast, though. Yep, no debilitation. We're seeing Epicenter coming in, increase that charge impact area and that cooldown reduction. More stuns means more Kerrigan kills. Karazim, extra movement speed and going for the cleansing touch. Keep that Kerrigan moving means keep that Kerrigan killing. It's all about the Protect the Ultralisk composition. And so far, that composition is working. Level 16 for the Kerrigan, of course, is going to be the Painful Spikes. Very much a go-to on this level. You could go for Mounting Potency with this particular build, but Painful Spikes is really strong. Ultra is going to channel in the bottom here. Kyocera trying to channel in the top. Laoba going with the delay, but it's just going to end up being a 2-for-1. That's 10 shots onto the core of CrowdControl in exchange for 3 onto the core of Sidestep Kings. And with that, Sidestep Kings, for the first time this game, will have a core health lead. 18-21 in their favor as Kyocera needs to move in. Entomb, bless shield, but Kerrigan just turns around. There's the polymorph though, that's good, cleansed out. Ultralisk not getting much value out of the Maelstrom there. Was locked down for most of it. As such, looks like they might be having to back out here. Cleanses from Cleansing Touch on point. Great turnaround. Cattle tanking through. Ultralisk diving deep. Die down. Got Filth. Gets the kill. And that's going to be a quadra kill coming in for the side of Sidestep Kings. Can they make it a quintuple? Unleash the missiles. Rutzau is so tanky though. They're going for it over the wall. They're diving for Rutzau, trying to finish the job. Quintuple kill. He's so tanky. He's going to pop the mech. Rutzau gets away. Rutzau just don't give an F as they're able to take down that middle bell tower. And they will make their way up to boss. Permanent core damage is available. Next alter phase will be a double. They know they'll lose bot. They can reclaim that later. They can get top after this boss is complete. And that will set them up for the constant chase that CrowdControl will have to follow them on. They race their way through. Bot bell tower already down. Sylve is an advantage for CrowdControl here. They will be able to re-clear mid potentially before the objective spawns, actually neutralizing the point. Bottom camp even taken. Grey split focus coming in from CrowdControl, keeping themselves under control, not being sucked in to that big chase style. Rutzau, good dodge. What a god. Even Medallions himself wasn't needed, but he escaped there. That is the important and crazy bit. Ultralisk is not with his team right now. They should not be team fighting. Ultralisk is trying to help those Sapphires make it in and finish off top. Rutzau's channeling in. Hyde can't make it. They lose that one. They lose bot. Ultralisk unable to even stop Brightwing teleporting in. Now it's a 5v4. They just lose this. They lose their entire lead there. There's the cleanse. They're going to get top, but I'm not sure this is worth. Kyocera buying time. He still has self-destruct. Divine Storm is burned. Self-destruct for the turnaround. Greymane dives in. That will finish off Rutzau. He overextended. There's the Cocoon. And even 5v4, CrowdControl are being pushed back here. Great missiles. That Ultralisk is about to arrive as well. And we see a one fight. They're going to get that channel. They're not even going to finish it, though. They're going to look for bot as well. Will the minions finish top? It's unlikely, which is kind of sad to see for Sidestep Kings. But it's still going to be 5 shots. They'll still bring CrowdControl down to 9. Unless Ultralisk actually goes up. That would be so risky right now. They think he's gonna. There we go. There's the channel. Kyocera, they don't want to take the risk. Instead, it was a trap. They're looking for Laoba. Chasing him deep. The stun combo is gorgeous. Cursed Bullet even for the follow-up there. And they already channeled, so they won't get the 6th shot out of this. But that's still going to be the bell tower going over to them. They still keep control of this game going. Ultras has already rotated ahead of his team to start on mid. X-Ray teleporting to a minion to stay safe here. They have level 20. It is a Bolt of the Storm. Karazim, Epiphany coming in here. Extra cleanses, Cattle from over the wall, but Kyocha, good to go, rolls out, but he will be slain. Only the third kill CrowdControl have been able to achieve so far. They try to stun out. They get X-Ray, who's able to blink heal away. Great job of they're level 20 now on the board as well. They look for Dayquaza. He doesn't have a tomb available. It's already been used. Here comes the phase shift. Keeps him alive. Died out. Wailing Arrow. They push forward. Cleansing. Hide. Keeping everyone up, moving and healthy. The speed boosts, the cleanses are keeping them going right now. Everyone will escape. 8 health on the core to 17, but that was a good fight for CrowdControl. So they're willing to set a trap, though. They're not willing to fight it, though. They don't have Kyocha. Kyocha's up in 13 seconds. Objective's up in 23. So it looks like their objective is just going to be rush the camp top lane. Cause a distraction. Both teams, by the looks of it, will take sapper damage here. This is smarter for CrowdControl, though. If their sappers make it in, that's lethal. If they can get their channel, there's 5 shots available for them from either of the sides, and the sappers pushing in top. If they get this one on the right and can push those sappers in, they get the win. They're causing a distraction. Kyocha gets them. If those sappers make it in, it's GG. So they're trying to interrupt the turn-in and get the sappers going. Brightwing right now is holding the sappers. Ultra's going to make their way in. Here comes the rest of the team with the rotation. They've been trying to buy some time. They look for X-Ray. Sappers close. Entomb to block him off. We're buried alive. Dayquaza pushes his way forward. That's going to be the kill onto Ultralisk. What a play. The sappers go nowhere. They are slain as Hyde is in full retreat, but Dayquaza will not let him run. And CrowdControl keep themselves in the game, popping the buried alive Entomb with no hesitation. They reclaim top, they will reclaim mid, and they may get more. They have their own camp down in bot lane for some counter pressure. They are going for the 6 cap strat, the one chance they have to end this game now. They try to do it as fast as possible, but Greymane has spawned, and that might make it so that they don't have enough to get the 6 cap. His fort race is too good. We see bottom fort taken out. As such, the 6 cap will not be available. Their clear is too slow here. Boss is now available. A lot of pressure has been relieved from CrowdControl here. They nearly have mid. And then the question of can they get bot? Their minions will re-clear their own mid. It was a question of if they could get mid and then bot, they could have got the 6 cap, but the spawn timers weren't in their favor, and their race was too slow. They bought themselves a lot of time here. Boss is lethal. CrowdControl? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's going to die really fast. CrowdControl are way too slow on reaction to this. That's GG. Well done, Sidestep Kings, taking game number 2 in this best of 5 series. CrowdControl very slow on the reaction there, as the core will go down. Sidestep Kings take game number 2 in this best of 5 series, bringing us to 1-1. Sidestep Kings pop it off, showing that they are here to play again. Very much improving from the last week or so. Looking good in this series. Very nice to see. Bringing us to a 1-1. Let's look at our statistics. Statistics-wise, of course, Dynao getting some of the most damage. Kerrigan doing good, 34,000. I know that seems low, but considering all of her damage is burst, so all of the damage she really did was in teamfights where she was getting kills, it's not too surprising to see numbers looking like that here. Not too surprising at all. Gonna be seeing a little bit extra. Sorry, just hitting some buttons on my aircon so I don't melt. Talents-wise, very smart. That Epiphany at the end from Hyde, honestly so smart. It's a really hard talent to utilize effectively, but being able to drop so many of those cleanses kept Sidestep Kings in that game for a really long time. It kept them going. Man, we've had some great series today, and we're going to hopefully keep having great series, as that was only game number 2. Very nicely done. Alrighty. So, the casters on the other side are almost certainly taking a quick break here. I think I'm actually going to join them this time so that I can have a quick breather and finish a drink and use the bathroom. So I will just take the time it takes me to do that, and then I will come back in time for game number 3. So don't go anywhere, everybody. We will be back after a short intermission so that I just have time to use the bathroom with game number 3 of this best of 5 series. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment. Hello there! Looks like I had a raid while I was in the bathroom. Hello everybody! Aero, thank you very much for the raid. Welcome everybody. You are here watching the Heroes HeroesCCL, presented by Roll20 with me, your caster, this weird break in reality behind me. Me, your caster, Tetcher. I will be your caster for today, and I am presented to you by our sponsor. You're raiding me in the bathroom. That's how he does things. Oh my. Ladies and gentlemen, Today, I am sponsored by the wonderful people here at Simply Nuck Gaming and their People's Choice campaign. If you hit !SNUC in chat, you'll be taken to a poll where you can vote on which of their systems receives the bigger Black Friday discount. Simple! It's between the Ghost Canyon, a small form factor PC with an i9, or a Vortex. Slightly bigger, can fit a full-size graphics card in it. Big, beefy machines either way. Well, small, quiet machines, but with big power inside. Always great to see. So make sure that you support them by hitting !SNUC. So, you joined us as we are partway through this series. We are partway through this bottom series on your left-hand side. CrowdControl versus Sidestep Kings. The current score is 1-1. With CrowdControl playing a great Medivh delay-style checkmate game in game number 1. And game number 2, Sidestep Kings, with a hyper-aggressive Greymane Kerrigan, a noob Karazim combo, while D.Va just did things elsewhere on the map. It's been a very fun series. I appear to have cut my thumb somewhere, somehow. Not sure when that happened, but I am okay. I'm sure everything is fine. Right now, we're just waiting for the main stream to get back from their break as well. I needed 20 seconds. They need a little bit longer, usually. Looks like they are back talking, at least, so we will be able to jump into the games very shortly. Once again, it's a best-of-5 series, so we will be needing 2 wins from either team to claim victory. Should be fun either way. So we're going to be getting ready to jump into that very shortly. The second we have our opportunity. So, let's talk about some statistics while we wait for our players and our casters on the other side to get ready so that we can get this rolling. Taking too long? Alrighty, we're good. We've got our moaning out of the way, so it's clearly going to start in the next like 20-30 seconds. So, we're looking at CrowdControl here, playing very, very effectively. So far, yet to use their 6th player. Pretty happy sticking with their usual comp. Heavy and Porky have been doing a lot of work for the analysis for them, apparently. So that's helping them out quite a lot. Whereas Sidestep Kings, they've swapped in Hyde for the second time. They brought him in on week 1, where they were able to win their series. They struggled a little bit week 2 with June, so Hyde is back. I'm not saying that's June's fault. Their drafting style in week 2 definitely seemed to struggle a little bit. In this week 3 game, they are absolutely doing a fantastic job, with Ultralisk apparently now taking the drafting baton, and as such, utilizing it to great effect to capitalize on some very different drafts to what we were seeing coming out from Kyocha's drafting style. So, in terms of comps, we've been seeing some very entertaining stuff. We've been seeing a little bit of D.Va. We saw a full defense Matrix D.Va, which was very exciting and very effective coming in from Kyocha. Very fun to see. Always like that kind of stuff. Been seeing a little bit of the Brightwing popping in here and again, but in this case, the Brightwing got kind of dunked by the Karazim Run It Down style. A style, weirdly enough, kind of capitalized on by June in the first place, which is kind of great. Either way, we're getting ready to head into game number 2. The second we are ready. I'm just checking on the mainstream again, see what's going on over there. They're already in the draft, which means we'll be heading in a moment because there is a bit of a delay there. That, or they've forgotten about the clean feed, which would not surprise me. But it looks like the mainstream is already in the draft. There we go, we're in. They had straight up forgotten about us. They'd straight up forgotten about us. We are already 4-5 picks in. We see the bans on the Junkrat, the Chromie. There's the Kerrigan and the Noobrak again. Sidestep Kings, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They banned the Medivh because it was such a freaking nuisance from the CrowdControl. They take that away as CrowdControl were first pick this time. But that doesn't mean CrowdControl got their hands on the Cassia. Very good. Very strong first pick up here. Kerrigan and Noobrak, though, if they keep that Cassia still, might be able to counter it out here. That's going to be ETC and Zool. Second Zool we're seeing from Dayquaza here today. It's definitely more standard from CrowdControl than we saw them last week, playing a little bit more safe today. We'll see how long they keep that up. Sidestep Kings now with their next ban. That's going to be the Zarya taken out. Zarya is a solid option here. Would be a ruddy nuisance. If she was picked in with this composition, it would be great protection from the Kerrigan. So it's a safe tool to ban away here. There goes the Stukov. Taking him out of action as well. Sidestep Kings now. They have Kerrigan, they have a noob. They've lost Stukov. Do they go Karazim again? Or do they maybe go for something a bit more CC orientated, like the Uther or the Brightwing themselves, perhaps? They go Karazim again. And Greybane. Nice. Don't need to heal your team if the enemy team is dead, so not doing any damage. Pretty solid stuff here. CrowdControl. How do they finish out their draft here? They got the ETC, they got Cassia, they need support. I wouldn't mind the Brightwing again if they picked Emerald Wind this time. They go for Ada. Here we go. And Deathwing. Oh, interesting. So there's that a Nano Boost Zul or Nano Boost Cassia? Or is it? Could it be an Eye of Horus draft? That would be peculiar, but it would allow Cassia to. It would allow Ana to stay out of Kerrigan range. How do Sidestep Kings react now? Indeed, they're offlane. Indeed, something that Kyocha can use to double soak lanes and keep them out of danger. They go Malthael. It's going to counter that Deathwing out quite well. It will struggle a little bit against the Zul in some places until it can get some good die alone stacks if they go for that build. I don't think they will, though. I think they did the percentage damage at level 4. A little bit of extra 2% when you hit with that Death Reach. Overall, solid drafts from both teams. The Malthael's a solid finish, but I like that Ana. I'm very curious to see where they go. Nano Boost Cassia isn't terrible, especially with the Q level 1. It's pretty solid there. The 5 melee draft, hell yeah. Very similar to what I mean, they had 5 melee last time, unless you count they had 5 melee in game number 2 as well, unless you count Diva as ranged. Which I guess she kind of is, not really until she's in pilot mode, but either way. Second time for Sidestep Kings. They're here to run it in. Yep, the first pick Kerrigan. No chill on that, as we are heading in, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 3 of our best of 5 series. Let's get this going. On the left-hand side, it will be Sidestep Kings. Puts out on the Deathwing Dequaza. Going to be playing on that Zul. We have Laoba on that ETC. X-Ray on the Ana, and Dynao is bringing out that Cassia. On the right, Sidestep Kings. I think I can just call the team on the left, Sidestep Kings. They are CrowdControl. On the right, Sidestep Kings. Cattle on a noob. Gotfilth on the Greymane. Ultralisk on Kerrigan. And that leaves Hyde playing the Karazim. Seeing the Nerubian armor coming in at level 1 this time from Cattle. A little bit of extra sustain. Molten Blood from the Deathwing. So it is, of course, it is a damaged Deathwing, because they already have Zul. So seeing that Deathwing come in, it's going to be a Molten Breath Deathwing. See how this goes. Hutzau, a little bit of damage, not too much at this stage. So far, everything's pretty normal. We are seeing Fear the Reaper coming in from the... We're seeing Fear the Reaper coming in from Malthael. Got Filth on the Greybane in the bot lane right now, hanging out. Because Kyocha is helping out Ultralisk with the D-Soak. Hyde left a little bit alone here. Got Filth comes up to help him out. And finally, we're going to see Kyocha make its way up to the top lane. They got a little bit of extra clear, a little bit of extra XP for that, but XP still soaked pretty evenly both sides. I'll make sure he doesn't miss any of those globes. We see the camps getting taken out here. Not too much trouble there. Malthael still rotating. He's He's rotating from mid to top. Still getting his XP. Needs to be careful. Zul will clear that very fast. And it looks like right now Zul was freezing the lane to make sure that Malthael missed a couple minions there, which is why Kerrigan went up to see if they could get a gank. Unable to do so. Zul now also going to double soak to help clear out the camp. Very smart. SMURT. Now then. With level 4s on board. Infernus, of course. It's going to be another Spectral Swing Zul. No surprise there. Loudspeakers for ETC on Loba. First ETC we've seen today, I believe. Malthael doing exactly what we said earlier and going for that throwing shade. No die alone here. He's got to be able to poke Deathwing. Poke him down. Black Harvest was the other option. Try and out-damage that health regen of Rutzau, but in this case, ain't gonna happen. Charge Strikes and Ring of Leech coming in for Die now. X-Ray starting off with a consistent Sleep Dart build. The old style that's still the top style. Sharpened Blades for Kerrigan. Ultralisk picking that up. No surprise there. Cattle getting traded a little bit. He's again gone for the Impale. Power Slide. Sleep, Root, and Kyocha gets cleansed out, but he takes a lot of damage. He will survive, though. 70 health at his lowest, I believe. Good escape. Very nicely done. Barely able to stay alive there. Cattle once again rumbled, making the most of his shield to sustain his way through. Objective being started and pushed in by CrowdControl. No reaction from Sidestep Kings. They instead push in top lane. The objective for the second game from Sidestep Kings is ignored in exchange for counter push potential. Last time that resulted in a 33-minute Volskaya game. Will we be in a similar situation this time? There is no Medivh, so I hope not. Chitinous Plating coming in. Malthael picks up the Massacre, no surprise there. Lauber pulled, Impaling Blades. Not enough to finish off Lauber here. Great Impale from Cattle. Buys his team some time as they make their way back on, but it's too late. Objective will be taken. No way they could hold them off for 3 minions. Would have been way too hard to deal with. That leaves Cattle and Gotfilth down here right now to clean this up. And we do see the rotation coming in from Ultralisk as well to help de-push it. Cattle not using his Burrow Charge to get out and to heal grenades makes that a little bit of a nuisance. Great stun from Rutzau, slowing down the clear. Punisher will get a little bit of extra 4 damage because of that. Sleep Dart finds no one. It's 4v4 in the spot lane. They're going to play it a little bit safer though, not take any huge risks. In the meantime, Malthael still double soaking. Kyocha doing what he can. Dequaza the same. It's rotating back and forth, keeping themselves in control. Siege taken into the middle lane. Cattle backs away. They're keeping it safe. Not bad. Looking good for the moment. Lauber looks for Cattle. But Cattle is playing a safe rotation game. He's near enough to his team that it's not an issue so far. Blinding Speed once again for Hyde. I doubt we'll see anything too different from Sidestep Kings. Literally, so far that the Rubian armor is all I can think of that we might see different other than the fact that Kyocha is in this game on a Malthael this time instead of D.Va. A little bit of damage done to Rutzau. And of course some quick clears by Ultralisk, getting himself some stacks up to 35. But level 10 is still hit by CrowdControl first. Loba with Mosh Pit pulled in. There's the counter 20. They've gone for Ultralisk this game. Loba is able to power slide out though. There's the bellowing roar. Poison Nova also burned. A lot of heroics were just used from both sides. The flanking Rutzau Deathwing is taking a little bit of damage. Ultralisk is in the backline trying to bully out X-Ray, who did go for Nano Boost, by the way. A lot of damage. Mosh Pit onto Hyde, who will get away. Hyde is in full retreat. He heals over the wall to Cattle, and Hyde will actually sneak away. Unbelievable escape from the Kharazim. What a god. They're able to pick up the escape. No one died in that fight. Cursed Bullet already off cooldown. We of course see the Cataclysm still available for Deathwing. Use the Bellowing Roar, no Cataclysm, they charge in. Round 2 on a fight. Medallion used by Dynao as they instead turn onto Ultralisk. No Hyde in sight, no healing equals easy kill. Lauber with the great counter engage there. Gottfried forced to back up. Ball Lightning is split. Unable to get the full set there. Hyde makes his way back down, will get the heal. But that's a little rough. Little rough there. Ultralisk trying to get the kill early, but not enough damage at this stage of the game. As Hutzau will take a bit of damage, not too much. But he's going to be able to zone well enough that Sidestep Kings will lose this bottom 4. CrowdControl extending their lead a little bit. 1 kill in this entire game so far goes to them, and that was that kill we just saw on Ultralisk. Ultralisk using Ultralisk, by the way, awesome. Great to see. Lovely combo. Level 13, half a level away for CrowdControl. Sidestep Kings. Basically a full level and a bit. Aggressive move forward by Sidestep Kings. Charge. Loba, counter-engaged. Mosh Pit not available yet. 16 seconds till it is. Kato gets melted, though. Rutzau takes a lot of damage. Last Right snipes him down. The risk of not taking Dragon's Eye. They turn on to Dayquaza, trying to do the damage. He friends the needle. Kyogre avoiding the Poison Nova, but they still lose Kerrigan. They try to turn it around. Gottfried is low, but Dayquaza is healing up. He's got that level 13 and that level 7. He sustains through beautifully. And that's going to be a 1 fight, 3 for 1 in favor of CrowdControl. They really tried to turn that onto Dayquaza, but that sustain output from Zul was way too hard to deal with. EDC going to go with the cooldown reduction on his face melt, not the cooldown reduction on his heroic. Hyde decides to punch Dayquaza a bit. Here comes Cattle, 7-sided. There's the backlash. Is it enough? Dayquaza tanks through. This lad's invincible. Unbelievable scenes. Punisher taken by CrowdControl to push in this top lane. Dayquaza's ported back. In the meantime, we do see Kyogre get some XP down the bot lane with a camp and some extra push value. But this is going to be fort number 2 going down. CrowdControl keeping up the pressure. Continuously in control of this series. Making their way down into the center of the map to deal with that camp. In the meantime, Kyogre steals their camp too. What a cheeky lad. He's going to go for the sneaky port out. Hides in the enemy center point in between mid lane and bot lane. The spot usually reserved for hook traps. In this case, being reserved for a way out. Chrysalis for Ultralisk, realizing he's in a little bit more danger this game than he was last. Cattle. Anti-heal is dropped, no healing is applied, so not such a big deal. Will sustain his way through this time. Gottfried arrives. Ultralisk was hanging around below, seeing if he had the opportunity to engage. They decide against it. They're running out of time to engage here as Sidestep Kings. They could be in a situation where they will be down 16 again before they even hit 15. And as such, they need to make something happen now. Dayquaza is a great target here, but he is very tanky. There's the medallion burned. Ultra's backing out. Now they have to be careful of Loba. Great cocoon. That was perfectly timed by Catcher. You can see his patience and his positioning. But the Bellowing Roar puts Gottfried in a rough position. Hyde, no cleanse on him yet. Gives him the speed boost anyway to try and get him out. Dayquaza is playing very distracted, but again, Hyde is nowhere near Ultralisk, meaning he gets no healing at all. 7-sided comes out, hits absolutely no one. Hyde is grouped up, will use Gottfried as an escape. But again, we see a very split fight coming in from Sidestep Kings. Let's watch it again to talk about exactly where it went wrong. The mosh pit was good. Poison Nova was good. It pops the cocoon very quickly, but look at this. Hyde is completely separated by the Molten Breath of Rutsow, the power of the Deathwing here, and by that point, there's no healing going to be applied to Kyocera or Ultrask at all, and the Sleep Dart able to take Cattle out of contention as well. Removed any potential turnaround for Sidestep Kings there. Great value from this Deathwing of Rutsow, really able to turn this game on its head so far. Very nicely done. CrowdControl starting on their Bruiser camp. We will see Sidestep Kings likely starting theirs as well, but they will probably delay theirs a little bit more if they have a choice in the matter. Gotfelth is scouted. Ooh, the invade. The risk of delaying your camp. Now they're not going to get it. This is now stealable. Level 16 is available. It looks like they don't want to take the risk of stealing it, even though they have Bellowing Roar available. Rutsow has the Cataclysm to escape. He will get out of it, though. The Cataclysm does work. He escapes from danger here. Cassia full all in on that auto-attack style here. Ring of Leech, Charge Strikes, Gloves of Alacrity, and Martial Law. All in on auto-attacking from a distance. Very smart. They've got two big front lines here with basically tank Zool. Nice to see here. I wonder if we'll see Mortal Wounds again. Or if we will see maybe the Poison Nova sustains. I think we'll still see Mortal Wounds because it's such a good talent. We'll have to see. Objective is started. Cattle tries to make his way on. Deathwing stealing quite a few of those shots. Really zoning the point here with this lava pool. The lava burst being a problem. Cattle steps forward. Molten Breath again. Zoning. Now with Conflagration. Cursed Bullet is used. The Deathwing still has Molten Blood. He will heal up slowly, but much quicker than usual. Another Molten Breath. 26 to 18. Position taken by Sidestep Kings. Fountains are going to be popped. Cataclysm up in 10 seconds. Mosh Pit is available. Dayquaza trying to zone him off. 26 to 31 now in favor of Sidestep Kings. Stuns. Catches Cattle. Molten Breath cutting off the entrance route. They turn on to die now. What a blow up from Ultralisk. As they move forward, Cataclysm has to be burned, but Last Rites will snipe him off in the distance. Cattle burrow charges to freedom. The cocoon on Lulba shut down that fight. Dayquaza, the nano-boosted Zool, tried to turn it, but he could not do so. Hyde will be just punched to death by the Punisher, but it's a 2 for 3 in favor of Sidestep Kings, who do lose the Punisher, though. They were so close to taking it, but the damage output was too good. The Punisher's now pushing in bot lane. Even though they won the fight, they lost the war there as Lulba pushes in. They're able to stop top keep, taking too much damage, prevent that from being stolen away. Gotfelth tanking through. Gotfelth is doing a great job here. Cattle really sustaining the best he can. Gotfelth, he's fast. Getting that Eagle Wolf. Keeping him away from that Punisher, keeping it moving. Imposing presence from ETC. The cocoons onto ETC have been on point every fight. Cattle really knowing who to isolate, where the danger is. His team is shut down by CC. What do? Remove the CC. Here's level 20. Burn beneath my shadow. Story stood in the fire for the Deathwing. We do see the healing Poison Nova. With Nano Boost, that is going to be so much sustain for Zool. We see the armor ignoring autos from Cassia. They move in. Bolt of the Storm is available for ETC. They don't go all the way in. Play it a little safe. And of course, Nano Infusion. The healing output, that Zool is basically invincible. So is Cassia, depending on which one gets it. I think it will continue to be Zool getting it because Cassia is still very much more focused on auto attacks here. Siege camp taken, pushing in the mid lane. Sidestep Kings on the back foot. No level 20 available for them yet, so they are all playing very defensively. Lava Burst continues to be a nuisance. Cutting off preferred angles. for Sidestep Kings. Oh my god, that's greedy. The Unstoppable is used, but Kyocha barely escapes, very barely gets out. But Hyde unluckily tried to assist and got caught in his stead. Kyocha, he gets out. Hyde sacrificing his life for him. Level 20 being soaked in mid, but that keep is a goner. With Hyde gone, the ping has been made. They're moving in. X-Ray staying very far back. Loba finds the stun. Kyocha, he will die, and that is a bad time to die. He gets taken out. There's Cocoon onto Kerrigan, who will pop the Crystal, sorry, on Kerrigan. Cattle, the configuration. Does he have the shield? Cattle's down! Godfilth is barely alive, leaving just Ultralisk to try and hold this. He will be focused down, has to bolt out as level 20 is hit. Nunga stop death. Kyocha respawns, buying his team some time. Ultralisk is low, Godfilth is low. You can see that charge strikes bouncing off the core to demount, interrupt ports, and do damage to the members. Core at 70%. CrowdControl are looking to make this a 2-1 as Cataclysm comes out. That guarantees it. And we're going to see game number 3 going over to CrowdControl. One game away from taking the full series. CrowdControl take another win off of Sidestep Kings, meaning that we are very close to seeing Sidestep Kings dropping it into the 1-2 and seeing CrowdControl move that little bit further up. They will tie themselves up here with Wild Hearts if they do so. Let's have a look at them stats. Stat-wise, we can see that was a pretty tight game overall, but in the end, Sidestep Kings were a little bit further back. The biggest difference you can see here is the sustain that we see from CrowdControl. They went for a double support last time instead of a second damage dealer. In this case, the second damage dealer was Deathwing, allowing them to go for a single support. The Zul damage reduction did huge for nerfing a lot of the fight potential of Sidestep Kings. The Loba ATC really forced out the Cocoon onto that target every single time, allowing Dayquaza to take up the tank role and do the job. And of course, on this map, the zoning is so powerful. Rutsao on that Deathwing was able to take a much better position, splitting the members of Sidestep Kings so consistently that they were unable to take the fights they wanted. Sidestep Kings need to now win 2 games in a row in order to stay in this series. Otherwise, CrowdControl will be going home with the 3-1, sorry, which will put them 2-1 in terms of series, tied with Wild Hearts. Sidestep Kings, they're looking for the same. If they win, they will also be in the 2-1 place. Whichever one of these teams gets it will be tying themselves up with Wild Hearts right now in what is basically second place. Ryokai, thank you very much for the host. That hasn't showed up on my screen yet, but thank you very much for the host. Welcome, viewers of Ryokai. I know you can't type in my chat because it is a host, not a raid, but it is appreciated. We are now we are either 1 or 2 games away from the end of this series. And right now, Sidestep Kings, they saw something that works. Their comp in game 1 was very effective, but it was outdrafted by the Medivh. Their comp in number 2 was very effective and outdrafted their opponents. In game number 3, they tried to replicate success that was already prepared for by CrowdControl, already able to react, and was counteracted pretty effectively. That was mostly a counter draft with that extra Deathwing to disengage from a lot of those fights. And as such, not so much of an issue for CrowdControl in that game number 3. Which means that once again, it's back to the drawing board for Sidestep Kings. Got to rethink their drafting style a little bit in order to try and claim that game number 4. In order to keep themselves in it. Because right now, like we said, if CrowdControl win game number 4, they will be victorious. Sidestep Kings, they're going to be looking to take us to a game number 5. If you're enjoying the show, ladies and gentlemen, please consider dropping a donation via Bits or the Streamlab link below, or dropping a subscription. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button. Very nice. If you have a Prime, maybe consider throwing it my way. I do this because I love it, not being paid by anyone from CCL. I am being paid, though, by these people, but they let me stream what I want, and I want to stream this. I am being paid by Simply Nuck Gaming to promote them here. Big B, thank you for the 200 bits. Very appreciated. Very, very appreciated indeed. Big thank you to Big B and Simply SN and Simply NUC, Simply Nuck, who are sponsoring me with their People's Choice campaign. If you hit !SNUC in chat, you'll be taken to a Twitter link where you can vote on which of their systems has the bigger Black Friday discount. Very simple. You don't have to sign up for anything. It's literally a Twitter poll. It costs you nothing. One Twitter poll to decide which system receives a bigger Black Friday discount. More votes they receive, the more likely they'll think I'm doing a good job and will consider sponsoring me or Heroes in the future. So show that support, !SNUC in chat, and click on that Twitter link to show your support. Thank you, SNUC. The finalists are Ghost Canyon versus Vortex. Vortex is a little longer, still a very low form factor computer with the opportunity to put a full-size graphics card in it. It's very quiet, very powerful option for an i9. Or the Ghost Canyon, a little bit smaller, very portable, very powerful. It's a little bit shorter, so of course we'll be seeing a smaller graphics card in it, but you can fit one, and it does have an i9, so it could run Heroes even without a graphics card. Seeing those big discounts will be very big for a lot of people out there. Obviously, there's a lot of people struggling financially who might not be able to get a PC right now, but think about the people who want one, and that discount might be the difference between seeing new gamers who might become the next generation of pros, or perhaps someone who just needs that upgrade. I'll need an upgrade soon. My computer is old, but it is holding out for now as we have game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 4, ladies and gentlemen, Battlefield of Eternity shall be the next map. Thank you everyone who has subscribed, donated, and raided tonight. And thank you, Simply Nuck Gaming, for your amazing sponsorship as we move in to the Heroes Hearth CCL, as presented by Roll20. Cassia shall be banned out by CrowdControl. Sidestep Kings, they removed the ETC. Yep. That's fine. ETC, before this game started, had a 66.67% win rate for Lauber from CrowdControl because he was just that scary, and because Sidestep Kings are first pick, they are immediately going to have the Medivh banned against them. Very sensible here. They have played Medivh once, and they have lost with it once. They are yet to win with Medivh, but it's still a sensible ban-out tool here. Raider going to be picked up first by Ultralisk. Very fun to see. Very fun to see indeed. CrowdControl now. What do we see from them? With Reyna already on the board, Hanzo still available, Greymane, Li Ming. These are some of the top racers. Vala, but she's a little squishier. Same with Lunara. They go for Li Ming. And Yrel. First Yrel we have seen today. Very surprising sentence to say because Yrel is one of the top offlaners. 57% win rate for CrowdControl with that Yrel over 7 games. Let's see if they can keep it up as Tyrael returns for Cattle. No Medivh to deal with this time. They're just going for what looks like the comp they went in game number 1. But this time, there's no Medivh to stop them. Right now, CrowdControl. They need their namesake. They need CrowdControl. They also watched CrowdControl. They also watched Simplicity run a Tyrael Genji comp. So they're very sensibly going to remove that Genji. They know how scary that could be. Very sensible. Very sensible indeed. I actually tuned in with Loba analyzing that fight. Why it could have gone in the other way. How Simplicity could have been turned on if they were not careful, and if the Chili Mountain had played a little bit stronger. But in this case, we're going to be seeing the Ada banned out by Sidestep King. Sleep Dart would be very annoying for Tyrael. There we go. More CrowdControl. That will help them deal with the Tyrael this time. Diablo and Stukov makes it all the way through the ban phase. The Nano Boost Li Ming, though, way too scary. You got to let them have the Stukov in this case, because that Nano Boost would have been too good to give them. Sidestep Kings. What do we see from them now? They need a healer. And they need a second damage dealer. There's a second damage dealer. Greymane and Hyde. Karazim, round 3. Last time they went this, it was a Malfurion, I believe. In this case, they don't need the extra speed boost. They're just going to rely on Tyrael to do it with the Swift Retribution. They get Karazim for counter Li Ming. Karazim is a big counter to Li Ming because he's able to jump onto her and chase her down with very high damage output. This is to make sure that the front line is kept busy. This will be Tyrael and D.Va's job. Final pickup, Lunara. Kharazim is, let's be honest, doesn't heal as much as most of the other healers in the game. His job is just different. His job is kills, not heals. But that's why you pick up the Lunara. Yes, she could be chased down by Kharazim, by Greymane, but she's also going to be able to massively outdamage the healing numbers that Kharazim's going to put out, and that could be a big problem for the members of Sidestep Kings. If CrowdControl could claim victory here, they might be able to run home with it, just due to the fact that they might be able to do too much damage for Kharazim to keep them sustained through. Tyrael will help with this, though. Tyrael has oftentimes been picked up in situations where your healer doesn't actually counter Lunara in old HCC games, where Tyrael will be utilized as a sort of pseudo-second support to give you the shielding you need to try and tank through that poison. We'll see if that's enough for him. It's a risky strategy, but let's see if it pays off. They're kind of going to be fighting around dedicated points, exactly the same strategy as we saw coming in from exactly the same strategy as we saw coming in game number 1. Let's see if it is enough. We're heading in to game number 4. Will this be the final one? On the left-hand side, it shall be CrowdControl. Rutzao on Li Ming, X-Ray on Stukov, Dynao on Lunara. Lauber is going to be playing on the Diablo, and Dayquaza will be playing on Yrel. They are one game away from claiming victory. On the right-hand side, it is going to be Sidestep Kings, Gotfilth on Greymane, Cattle on the Tyrael, Hyde is on Kharazim, Kyocha on D.Va, and Ultralisk will be playing the Raider. The gank is rumbled. The Wisp sees all. It sees your greed. Orb and a little bit of extra damage using Loba to tank the tower. They get a little bit of poke. Counter push happening, and Kyocha's mech got popped. That is unlucky. Not able to trade aggro fast enough, but they trade a full tower for it. And looks like they're looking for more, making the most of that Tyrael shield. They rush it down. Kyocha takes a little bit of damage, but he will get his mech back before anything too bad happens. Bot push being mirrored, but Raider a little bit better at de-pushing this kind of stuff than Yrel is. We'll see how they've done down in bot. In a second, of course, I have no control over the camera. Cattle keeps on a little bit of pressure here and there. Pokes Loba. Charge. Nicely done. Good turn from Loba. There's no towers to tank through. Body blocks. Dayquaza. Quick stun. Utilizing the trait to make sure that they can get that out in time to disengage. We'll see Siege Cap being taken. Camera will finally show us bot lane, where we will see that the front wall has been absolutely deleted. Power of Li Ming, Lunara. Ultralisk is literally mounted and waiting behind buildings while there's an Impaler camp literally pushing him in. 1v3 versus 2v4. Kharazim's coming down. I'm not sure what he'll add to this that will really help. Tyrael's finally going to come down as well, because they are going to lose this fort. At this rate, I don't know if Kharazim is actually going to get here in time. Kyocha will die up in top lane. This is going very badly for Sidestep Kings. CrowdControl in control right now. Able to defend a lot better. Able to push a lot better. And they're able to pick up the first kill of the game. Looking for their second as they slow Gotfilth, who will disengage roll and will get away. But bot fort dropped to half health. Even more so as more orbs come in. Cattle and Hyde are finally down here to help with the defense. But this is a very strong performance coming in from CrowdControl at the early stages of this game, as they'll make their way on to start that bruiser camp. Triumvate, nuclear option coming in for the D.Va. Insatiable, a little bit of mana regen coming in from Greymane on level 4. Wants to be spamming out those cocktails by the looks of it. Nature's Culling for Lunara. Faster immortal race here. Does anyone else remember the days where there used to be a talent, where you used to combine Nature's Culling with the talent on level 13 that allowed you to get a full reset on your W if it only hit neutral monsters, if it didn't hit any heroes? So you just hit the Immortal once with it, as bot fort will die. You hit the Immortal once with it, and then it would immediately you'd just be able to spam reset it, and it would just die on its own with you never having to step near it again, as long as you had mana. Got filled. Slowed, very slowed, able to disengage though. And we're seeing the lack of healing from Hyde starting to show. As Garfield, oh, he's outside of the range of Hyde's heal there. That is very unlucky to see. They won the race, though, pretty hard, getting their quick head start, as we'll finally see CrowdControl making their way onto the Immortal to begin the counter race. Ooh, halftime show denies Rutzau's orb. Still a lead for Sidestep Kings in the Immortal race, but they have almost a full level deficit. As CrowdControl begin to zone, begin to siege, Ultralisk begins to do its job. Dayquaza over the wall, knocks Ultralisk in. Great positioning by Loba, but they're very outnumbered here. Just trying to buy enough time. Can they do it? Rutzau and Die now trying to race against Ultralisk. Great stun by Dayquaza. That might be enough, and it is. Dayquaza saving the day. He gives his life for it, but that is the Immortal going over to CrowdControl right now. But kills have evened up. Level 7 is on the board. Choking Pollen. Not going to see the Splintered Spear here. Orbs come out, not finding the target. Calamity now online. Yeah, no Splintered Spear. We're seeing the Choking Pollen go for a little bit more burst. Trying to finish people off. Maybe try and force Hyde to take that Divine Palm instead of the 7-sided strike. Making a little bit of damage. Cattle charged. Survives. Takes a bit of damage, but will escape. Everyone able to avoid Dayquaza. Here comes Kyocha. You can see he was thinking about the self-destruct there. If he could get people knocked in, but not able to do so. Ultralisk low. Rutzau really making the most of this Li Ming. Ooh, good penetrating round from Ultralisk. Cattle dropped very low here. Here comes Dayquaza looking to make this a Li Ming reset. Not able to get it. Instead, Dayquaza finds himself in a rough position. Will get out. Team protects. Has the Holy Avenger here. Cooldown reduction for that Yrel. And a little bit of extra damage. Hitting a hero at full charge. Always welcome. Firestone build for Loba, by the way, but look at that. Stun healing. Might as well, honestly, when you're running this comp. This map, it's very hard to do. There's almost no spell power on the enemy team to kill you. You might as well just go straight in for the CC healing. It's the only one that's really going to be valuable for you. There's not enough globes to get. Camp taken by Sidestep Kings. As they position defensively. They make their way in. Quick escape by Cattle, playing safe, using the smite. Dayquaza from the side. The stun is sidestepped by Kings as Ultralisk turns it round, chases in Loba, dives back deep, but Dayquaza again causing enough of a distraction. Hand of freedom to themselves to get out of danger. These flanks from Dayquaza have been good, but Ultralisk is doing a great job of avoiding the stuns. He is, of course, the target that we'll be seeing Sidestep Kings going, CrowdControl going for. Garfield and Ultralisk, but they're playing so split that it's being very hard for CrowdControl to get the full fight. 1 kill to 1 at this stage. Race in favor, once again, of Sidestep Kings. Lunara does a lot of immortal damage. The problem is it's over time. And that's where the issue comes in. They need a long delay play for Lunara's race to come into effect. And they're not getting that. Sidestep Kings move into a defensive position as CrowdControl with level 10 advantage. They played up early. Thornwood Vine. Interesting. So the Choking Pollen going to be used for sieging here. Going to be very hard to land, but the damage output will be very strong if they can get it. Kyocha holds the line. Has to use the X-Ray has to use the medallion. Ultralisk has to heal up. Thornwood Vine making up for the lack of that Splintered Spear. 7-sided, going to be picked up, of course, with Sanctification, Lightning Breath for Diablo. Otherwise, talent's pretty normal here. We do see Flailing Swipe instead of Massive Shove. Those can be interchangeable. Kyocha rolls away. He is in a bad spot, though. He's in Austria right now as we see him mount back up, though. Gets back in the mech, back in the fight. Trying to pressure Loba, but in the meantime, Rutzau sieges. The Immortal is low. Ultralisk has had to drop the Fountain. The Immortal will be dropping any second now. The blocking's coming in as best they can, but Rutzau is causing so much pressure. Last chance Sidestep Kings have to move in during this phase. That's a good lightning breath to zone that out. Gottfeld looks for Dayquaza. Instead, they get caught by the orb. The fight is now very risky. In the meantime, Lunara will finish off the Immortal. Well played. Making the most of that. Ooh, quick ping onto that cam. Gottfeld allowing that Bruiser cam to be tagged. But very nice job using the Nature's Culling of Lunara to guarantee that they did get that Immortal while they were still playing safe and delaying. Very effective. Level 13 still quite far away for both teams as the Immortal pushes its way into top lane. Soul laners, of course, make their way down for the split push soak. And look at that positioning. Roots out, easily able to take out the Fallen Shame, and they're looking for ult this wave of force. Wrong way, though. They look for Loba, focusing him down. Great flailing swipe from X-Ray. That will save Loba. He's staying in the fight, though. Kyocha's still here. Loba, very far forward, immediately blown up. Immortal will be focused down. It takes a little bit of front wall damage, but we're seeing CrowdControl getting chased here. Sidestep really wanted to make the most of this. Mech is down. X-Ray is taken out. Hyde is going very aggressive with these kills. He's picked up both kills in this first early fight. I'm going to jump to here just in case, as we have a quick pause. We'll be back into that game very shortly, assuming everything is all good. Nice. Alrighty. Oh, big stretch. Biggest stretch. That's what we like. Well then, very quick-paced game. Much quicker than the first couple games. In fact, this game already has as many kills as the game number 1 kind of had in total at the 9-minute mark. Game number 1 had this many kills at 30 minutes. So already, pretty different. Pretty different indeed. It's kind of fun to see. Alright, well, we're paused. I'm going to fix my green screen because it is flickering. There we go. It's eating my headset a bit, but that's fine. We don't care about that much. It just gets rid of the annoying flicker. That's all we care about. Alrighty. So, I like the fact that we are seeing more nuclear option play. I'm honestly going to start implementing that into my own games as well. Hey, best wheat break. Wait, oh, Bet's wheat break. Thank you very much for the follow. Oh, wait. Bet's we at break? Well, that could be so many things. For starters, thank you for the 100 bits. Always enjoyed your casting. Used to wake up at 2 AM to watch those Chinese matches. Very appreciated, friend. Very appreciated. How do you say your name? Bet Sweat Break. Oh, because I was like, Bet's wheat break, or Bet's we at break, or or stuff like that. I was very confused. But yes, Bet Sweat Break. Gotcha. Thank you very much for the 100 bits. Very appreciated. And of course, if you are enjoying these games, then maybe consider dropping a subscription or a donation of bits or regular donation. We're back in. I, of course, don't get to see the countdown, so we're just back in. If you have anything to spare, it is appreciated. We bet on football and card race. Gotcha. Alrighty. Push comes in to the bot lane. Not able to get anything too aggressive, but bot lane is still pressured. Game right now, very in favor of CrowdControl. Both forts already down. Sidestep Kings looking to try and maybe take down a fort of their own up here, making the most of that swift retribution. Lot of attack speed boost. Dayquaza over the wall. They have Impalers. They don't have Diablo here. Little rough position for Gottfeld, doing what he can. Sieging, good orb. But that's enough. They will fully disengage. We played against you guys in Quick Match last week, aka Deco, you were a Rhaegar, and I was a Nova. We had a hilarious Quick Match Fiesta. Cool! Hey, I'm glad to see you again, buddy. Glad you popped in to say hello. Very appreciated. I hope you had fun during the game, and I hope your games have been good recently. My aircon sounds like it's broken. Ripperoni. We're going to see Sidestep Kings clearing out bottom lane. Top's pushed up. CrowdControl just dealing with their own bruiser camp. Sidestep Kings won't be up until a little later into the Immortal phase, so we won't see that getting in too quickly here. Urel gets a spell power now. Lunara going for the Let Them Wither. Extra slow duration. Combos very well with the unfair advantage. Oh, big bop by Quasar, perfectly hitting Kyosha into that immortal stun. Lots of damage being done to Loba. They're chasing very deep, but look at that lurking arm for the turnaround. Godfilth and Hyde. Hyde will die here, killed by the Immortal, and that is an absolute massacre. CrowdControl are smashing them down here. Bet Sweat Break, thank you very much for this Tier 1 sub as we see Sidestep Kings fall at the wayside. Sidestep Kings. All that's left is Kyosha. He fires missiles, but it is but a scream into the void. As we see CrowdControl pushing into that bottom keep, we have a pause. Back to me. CrowdControl looks like they're on the cusp of maybe winning this. Of course, this will be a full respawn coming out from the members of Sidestep Kings. How to sidestep a circular immortal attack. Hey, Zerifan, how you doing? How's it going? Yeah, how do you sidestep? It was just unlucky timing. He did the 7-sided strike, which has side in it, so it counts, to try and like avoid the Lunara poison, which would have killed him. And the second the Lunara poison, the 7-sided expired, the immortal just goes boosh and just smacks him into oblivion. Brilliant. CrowdControl looking very strong in this game number 3, really showing up. Sidestep Kings on the back foot this time. They are struggling. That was a bit of a split fight. A perfect lurking arm from Stukov, completely turning that fight. The chase was coming in from CrowdControl, but they can't seem to break through that initial health pool. And as such, they were completely focused down. That biotic armor plus the incredibly large health pool and the main sustain of Fire Stomp Diablo made it so that they weren't able to do enough damage to actually execute him, meaning that that was a very easy turnaround in that choke point by Hyde. Not by Hyde, by X-Ray. Beautifully done, well executed. I don't know if this will be an end because everyone's about to respawn, so it'll be a 5v5 on core. And of course the Immortal will be pushing in the top lane. So it's gonna be pretty rough to deal with. CrowdControl gonna get greedy and throw it, allowing SSK to turn on core. Maybe, who knows, we'll see. Hope they why so we get more games. We have a full set pause here. Something has happened. Like we've actually jumped off the URL in game. I don't know what's going on there. I'm trying to see if there's anything on the Discord telling us what's going on and why we're having this technical issue. Dunno. It's a good question. I'm seeing if anything's been said here. Doesn't look like it. Excuse me. Okay, looks like we might be jumping back in. Yep, we are. Alrighty. I was trying to find details. We find nothing. Keep goes down. Lunara is finishing off the Immortal by herself because she can. Again, it takes her a little bit, but she will race very quickly. I would not mind a 5th game. My throat might object, but I would not mind. It is a very different beast in terms of, like, throat sustainability to solo cast games than it is to duo cast games. I'll definitely say that much. It also, my throat had a lot better of a time when I cast basically every day instead of just 2 times a week. Kyosha wipes out the Wisp, removes the Vision. Quasar is in position. 5v5, 16v4, 16v13 in talents, 16v14 in levels. It comes down potentially to this. Self-destruct is available, may have to be used early, just to try and zone that Immortal away, but the keep will already fall. Ultra drop low, speed boost with Retribution gets them out. They can't afford it. Self-destruct comes in, it won't even hit the Immortal. Although it does hit the Immortal because Lauba makes it, because he overpowers it. Well. It does heal him up actually a little bit. Immortal goes down.
Thanks for casting these matches.
But that is the final keep. Final keep is eliminated. Thank you very much for the donation, by the way. I didn't call it out earlier, from Bet Sweat Break. I like the transitions on your scenes as well. Just started learning how to do these things myself. Thanks for casting the matches. I'd love to show you how to do them. I don't know. I bought them. from a friend. I bought them online. We see the focus, Loba. Shots coming in onto Kyocha, who's forced to back up. Bruiser Camp is stolen away by the side of CrowdControl, keeping their pressure on. Unfair advantage is, of course, excuse me, going to be coming in here. So much extra damage on Lunara now. They have Mirror Ball too. Percentage damage on to this Urel. And Tigerfish, thank you very much for the 500 bits as well. Very appreciated indeed. If you're enjoying, maybe consider a donation, a subscription, or some lovely bits. And make sure you follow so you can see when I'm live. Loba finds Ultras. That's the perfect target. Quick speed boost sanctification. Turns it round. They hold. The orbs come in. Godfield is dropped very low, but they're kiting back Loba. Kyocha arrives in time for the fight, but Cattle will be one to fall in this fight. Can they turn it onto anyone? They drop X-Ray low. Their health bars are too low, though. It's just going to be Cattle in exchange for some X-Ray health. Great cleanse from Hyde with 16. Finally on the board for Sidestep Kings. Keeps them in this. Oh, God, Filth gets chunked. Leaving Orb trying to fish him out there, see if he was still near the gate. Really trying to pick up that kill. They begin working the Immortal. Look how quickly they do this now with Mirror Ball and Unfair and just Lunara in general. Lunara's even going to move over and start their Bruiser Camp using the Thornwood Vine to set it up. Tyrael is back. We're only at 15 minutes in. This game is not over yet. Sidestep Kings, though, this might be their final stand. They're just going to try and delay. Let Ultralisk get as much of that immortal health off as possible. Go, Ultralisk, go! It's all on you, buddy. Dayquaza off to the side. Hyde rapid round to try and bully Hrutsau. Cattle having to tank the orbs. It's a rough spot to be in. They've got the immortal down to half health. Better than the position they were in. Hyde over the wall, very aggressive. Gonna find Die now here as well. They hold it. They get quite a lot of shield off, and they do disengage. That could have been worse for Sidestep Kings. They're actually able to get a lot of shield off that Immortal. That's holdable now. It's very close. They're gonna have to deal with all the lanes, and they're gonna have to fight that Immortal far forward, which means they might have to kill someone here to stop this game from ending. But that Immortal is killable. But they have to do a lot of work. And they also can't afford to die early. Hyde cleanses, make their way in. They have sanctification. They don't have level 20, but neither do CrowdControl. Immortal has made its way in. It's almost on the core. They have to make something happen. Kyocha has self-destruct. May have to use that early as well. Dashing out, stunned out. Self-destruct is used. Can he escape? He's going good to go. Sanctification is dropped. They get the kill on Stuko, but Ultralisk is gone. That's most of the Immortal clear. Shield is already gone, though. Godfilth is doing everything he can to hold this game. 91%, 74, 66. Die now is so tough. Dayquaza is good. The Immortal's at half health. Godfilth is giving it everything he can. It's all or nothing, but Ardent Defender from Urel guarantees the core. And we're going to see CrowdControl take the 2-1 in this series. Let's watch that again. And the final push. What a fight. The self-destruct was good, but the orb from Hrutsau completely finds Ultralisk, removes him from that fight. We see the dive. Great kill by Godfilth, but the Immortal's already taken off 62%. Died out, who does die. His poison still does work, and no one could touch Dayquaza. Second that Ardent Defender was popped, it was good. The second Ultralisk died, that game was over. Ultralisk being eliminated in that game completely ended it. If he had survived, they would have had a little bit more Immortal clear. Not his fault, just perfect angle finding for Hrutsau, but overall, that is congratulations to CrowdControl, who take the 2-1 and move themselves into the tied position, where they will be joining up with Wildheart Esports. CrowdControl looking strong in that series. Sidestep Kings, though, one of the best performances we've seen out of them, in my opinion, in the first couple of games, and even all the way through to this game. Very entertaining from them. What a series from these two teams. Absolutely brilliant at the ends there. The Lunara damage, very effective, but Hrutsau is the MVP there, making the most of that Triumvirate. His team keeping him safe. X-Ray with great zoning, Gotta give them the call-outs for just doing their jobs. Dequaza being an absolute menace. He was evaded beautifully. Sidestep Kings living up to their name most of the game, but once they were able to find those isolations, that's when everything fell apart. Beautiful execution by CrowdControl. Sidestep Kings looking good, improving every single game. They really are scaling. I talk about it every time I talk about Sidestep Kings. They scale amazingly. All they technically have to do is scale to playoffs. That's all they technically have to do. But every position in playoffs is going to be a big deal. That's going to be the end of our cast today. Tomorrow, we will be casting Simplicity versus Granite Gaming and Chili Mountain versus 30k. Simplicity versus Granite Gaming, I am very much looking forward to. Simplicity, they now have Legacy playing for them. And Granite Gaming, they have traded Bergolt for the free agent that is Yasu OTP. Very strong lineup coming in for them right now. I'm curious to see whether they will swap out any of their mains or whether that will remain the case. I think Granite will probably keep Skoog and Yasu won't see play today. We'll see. Simplicity, again, it very much depends. I don't think we'll see Legacy seeing played this week, but we'll see next time. And then, of course, the second series, Chili Mountain, which is very amusing, traded Fury to 30k. 30k now have Fury on their side, so they now have the option of playing Fury or Masquerade. Both could be good choices. I think if my theory is correct of how 30k are going to play their tanks, we will see Masquerade tomorrow, but we will see. Chili Mountain, they have a new member as well. They have Bergolt from Granite, giving themselves a new tank here. Giving it a little bit more freedom to Maka. Very sensible, getting that main tank on the board so that they have some more flexibility. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed today's stream. Tune back in tomorrow where we will have more games. I will also be having the semi-finals of the playoffs. Semi-finals, quarterfinals, something. Playoffs of my amateur team will be happening tomorrow as well, so I'll be going straight from the cast to that, so that'll be fun. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you check out our sponsor, Simply Nuck Gaming. Their People's Choice campaign is coming to an end. Make sure you get those discounts on the system you want by voting and hitting !SNUC in the chat. My personal favorite is the Ghost Canyon, but the Vortex is a beast of a machine. But make sure you vote on which one is your favorite. Don't be influenced by little old me. Make sure you check them out, and if you enjoyed, maybe consider dropping a follow so you know when I go live, a subscription if you really like what I do, and a donation if you really, really like what I do. I'm not sure which one of those. I think subs are probably high priority because they can renew. Alrighty, for now, excuse me, I'm going to head off to bed. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I really hope you had a good time. Tune back in tomorrow. I'm going to start a rerun so that you can see this again if you joined late. If you missed the earlier games, there were some belters in there. I'm going to start a rerun. I hope you all enjoy. I'll put some other of the CCL games afterwards. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Have a wonderful evening. Good night.